as we look out in the distance to the outer side of the lovely Eudunda Oval, and the Southern Saints are B-grade doing their victory lap, albeit fairly slowly.
Yep, which is about as fast as what you and I would be doing it, I reckon. We wouldn't be going any faster than that, I don't think.
And they're not getting a lot of claps from the Min-Man supporters out there.
The umpires are lining themselves up, and the players will soon line themselves up for the national anthem, Freddie. So for our listeners on ABC North and West, we will have a bit of a quiet time very shortly when the national anthem is being sung. So that will be happening very shortly as the Riverton, the RSMU team and the BSR team both get ready to line up and show their respects towards the national anthem to start the proceedings of the A-grade grand final. Umpires today, Grant Roberts, Kim Dixon and Phil Bazusto by the look of it. And the boundary umpires beautifully dressed up in their dark green.
A couple of them look a bit cold there, Chuck.
Yeah, no,
the shorts on.
Yeah, see, they're the guys that needed to do their warm-up, Freddie. They're the ones that needed to get those legs moving. I can see Ben Mumford over there, and Pigs is over there as well, Piggott. But the umpires have set themselves up, and the national anthem. Andrew Mitchell, the president of the league, is just getting started, and you may not be able to hear the national anthem over the speakers, but as I say, out of respect, we will try and get the volume to a level where you can hear this national anthem being sung, which is about to happen right now. So we'll be back shortly after this quick national anthem, and hopefully you can hear it in the distance. Absolutely sensational, absolutely beautiful, and the crowd standing up, the majority of the crowd taking their hats off. Even Mally got up in the timekeeper's box, very respectful. Well done, Mally.
Yep, that's for sure.
And I always like the national anthem saying, when you're in a situation where you're above everyone, you look down and you see the amount of people that get the nudge in the ribs to make sure that they take their hat off. I think that's great, but I'm not sure who that was that sang that. I'm not sure whether Mally knew who that was that was singing it, but that was a lovely rendition of the national anthem as the umpires now ask for the skippers. Martin for BSR has made the way there, and this is your local ABC North and West. The time is 2:22, and we'll be back shortly with the start of this great grand final. Hello and welcome back. This is your local ABC North and West, and hopefully you're enjoying the coverage of the North Eastern Football League Grand Final. We'll give you as many score updates from around the grounds in regional areas as we possibly can. As mentioned, there's grand finals in Port Lincoln, there's grand finals in Great Flinders, there's grand finals in Wowler, York Peninsula, all over the place. There's big games happening, but we're here at Eudunda Oval, and we're looking forward to the start of this big clash between RSMU, who is Riverton, Saddleworth, Marrable United, and BSR, Brinkworth, Spalding, Red Hill, for all those people that are wondering what the initials are about. I've been joined by Freddie Freeman. Freddie, we're about to get started and looking forward to a great clash.
Certainly are, as you said, and we've mentioned throughout our opening there that the wind is blowing virtually straight across. We're looking out to the east, more or less, so it's a north-south oval. And we certainly are looking forward to what could be one of the games of the season. Let's hope so, a grand final. We hope that it goes right to the wire. I'm sure the various supporters don't. They want their team to win and win by three-quarter time, possibly. And just quickly, I've had a little note that the people interested down the York Peninsula Footy League, the CMS Crows beat the Southern Eagles in the B grade by 5 points.
Ooh,
so somebody might be interested there. So they're going, if they can, their A grade can beat Moonta, they'll get the double, the Crows. So we'll look forward to bringing you the scores throughout the afternoon.
Freddie, I reckon the Southern Eagles in the B grade, they wouldn't have lost many games at all. I reckon they might have only lost one for the season.
Right,
but,
I should know, but I don't.
They've lost the grand final, but well done to the CMS Crows winning the B grade by 5 points. The games are about to get started here at the fantastic Eudunda Oval. Umpires are ready to go. They look at the 6-6-6 scenarios down each end. If anyone's going with the aid of a slight breeze, I would think that it's BSR going to the left of your radio. Ready?
Left of your radio dial.
Wilson will be up against Shahinga. Umpire raises the ball. Timekeeper Malley blows the siren and we're away in the Northeastern Grand Final. First tap, no real advantage, but it goes to Shahinga for Riverton. Once again, ball hits the ground. Players trying to get their feet, and Andrew Cousins gets the ball away. Finds Harsman. Good start for BSR. It's in their forward 50 arc. Nice pass. I'll tell you what, that was some good skill levels there by Slade. And the skipper for BSR, Sam Martin, takes the kick. 45-degree angle. Going to be kicking from around 35 to 40 metres. He's going to have to go head left for the ball to make its way around, Freddie. The breeze is going across the ground. Martin delivered his approach. Didn't look all that good off the boot, and he's hooked it slightly. Minor score. First score, BSR. That's a minor score, Sam Martin. And good start getting the ball out of the centre there, Freddie, for BSR.
Certainly did. And we've only played less than a minute. As we see RSMU, Harrison Slee back there at fullback today. Gets in looking for the player in Jack Turney. He can't quite get hold of the footy. Stacks on the middle, I reckon, as the BSR player comes in there in Matty Longbottom, the male medal winner. They fight hard for the ball, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. Right on the point of the centre square. Up she goes, the big fellas fly. Sam Wilson in there. Of course, brother to Lockie, that's down at in Adelaide, North Adelaide this year.
He's actually here. He's here watching today, Freddie.
There you go. Unfortunately, as he should be playing because North Adelaide are hopeless. But there you go.
Shahinga gets the tap. It goes straight to the player there in Martin, who's slung to the ground with the tackle. Good piece of work defensively by RSMU. By the player there in Ball. And the ball gets returned to the umpire to throw it skyward. Matt Longbottom gets the ball, tries to barge through. He's tackled straight away, and he's tackled high. Male medalist for 2021. Matty Longbottom will get the resulting free kick.
See a fair bit of him, the Sabo.
Yeah, in he goes inboard. That's a lovely looking pass. Drop short. Nice piece of work, half volley. Nice work there by Longbottom. This time it's not Matt. It's actually Cameron, who has a snap with his left and goes to the left-hand side of the goalpost. Minor score. That's the second point for BSR. And it's the only score that we've had so far in the first 2 minutes of play. Ball gets kicked in into Van Loon. Van Loon, 30 metres out from the defensive goal. Doesn't see anything down forward, so he's just chipped it across. No real advantage, still 30 metres away from the BSR goal. Once again, a little bit of a chip, finds Rhodey. Rhodey for RSMU, around that 50-metre arc defensively. Matchups downfield, so once again, taking his time, kicks down the line. Looking down there, good piece of work there by the player there in Turney. Good mark and plays on straight away for Krause. Krause gets the ball down towards the half-forward line. Good use of the body there by Zach Hire to get the ball. Taps it to himself, but ends up in the hands of Cousins, who gets cleaned up after he gets rid of it. Nice piece of work by Hinges to get the ball out towards Hayes. Hayes over on the far side wing. Nice little bit of work to tap the ball to Longmire. Longmire gets tackled straight away, and he's been adjudged to be holding the ball. It's forced out in the tackle and a free kick to RSMU on the far side wing.
Just over 3 minutes played in the Northeastern League Grand Final. Out wide there was a player in Michaelani, known as Budgie, out wide there. And he comes to get it in towards the 50-metre arc. The wind does hold it up a bit. Nobody back there for the Hawks. And the player back there was
Hayes.
Hayes, yep. Thank you very much, Chuck.
Daniel Hayes.
He goes wide. You know these players a bit better than me. Coming in now towards Big Sam Wilsden. Got the white boots on. He in turn goes out wide and finds Longbottom out there, I reckon it is.
Yes.
Goes long down the wing. That was a good guess, wasn't it? Goes and he's found the player in Nathan Hayes, I reckon, out there on the half-forward flank. They've switched it. goes down looking for the player in Sam Martin, gathers in the pocket, looks up, but he can't keep it out in the boundary line, and he's just tried to keep it in, couldn't do so, and the boundary umpire will come in and force a boundary throw in. BSR Tigers 2 behinds, RSMU yet to score. We've played 4 minutes first quarter.
Sam Martin tried to hold the ball in and run around the boundary line and didn't work. Moller gets the ball from the ruck and has a snap, and minor score, right hand side of the goalpost, minor score. That takes them to 3 minor scores. RSMU yet to score. Once again, probably a slight advantage with the wind direction heading to BSR's end. So currently 3 points to nothing. And it's the 4.5 minute mark of the first term. RSMU kicks the ball in from fullback, looking for Zach Hire, goes over the top, ends up in the hands of Cam Longbottom, goes in towards the forward 50, but good defensive work. It must have been touched off the boot because he played on. That was Rhodey. Umpire must have called play on because there was no reason for Rhodey to want to try and play on. He was tackled straight away, forced to the ground. The umpire says, Mally, you're the timekeeper. I'm going to blow the whistle and I want you to stop play because one of the players is putting his boot back on.
And he's on the ball too, right alongside me. He presses a button to start time again. Up they go. Simon Goss is up there as well. He's centre half forward, but did the rucking this on occasion. Jack Harsma gets it with BSR. Comes towards the player though, Nick Jordan. They call him Webby. Get that one. Nick Jordan, they call him Webby. Don't know why, but that's his nickname that goes over that boundary line once again, which we're going to see a fair bit of this afternoon because of that breeze just taking it to the outer side of the lovely Eudunda Oval.
You being special comments, you'll have to go out at quarter time and ask Nick Jordan why he's called Webby, Freddie.
We'll see what happens. Stacks on the mill at centre half forward for BSR. Nobody can get a decisive handball out, and the umpire, which will do this a fair bit this afternoon, will call for the ball up. Up they'll go again, the big fellas.
Ball 60 metres or 50 metres out, I should say, from the BSR goal. Once again, nice piece of work there by Shahinga. Gets the tap, but doesn't go to any clear advantage. Harsma gets the ball, but loses the handle. Connell's there for RSMU, and he loses the handle. And because everyone's losing the handle of the ball, it's still on the ground, and players stack on it, and we'll have another ball up on the 50-metre arc of the attacking zone for BSR. 3 points the margin in favour of that team, BSR. 3 points to nothing is the score. 6 minute mark of the first term. Ball goes up, ball goes down, players jump on, and it's a repeat of what we mentioned before. Stacks on the mill, and we're going to have another ball up. Still 50 metres out from the attacking 50 of BSR. Umpire, I think that might be umpire Bazasto, throws the ball up. Shahinga uses his body beautifully, goes to strike the ball but misses it. Nice piece of work by Andrew Cousins to get the handball on, and now found some space, but Alex Morgan runs into what seemed to be an open goal, but he's hooked it, and another minor score prevails. 4 points to nothing. BSR over the top of RSMU. 7 minute mark of this first term.
Peppering the goals down that end, that's for sure, but yet to get that major. Slee looking for his options now. As I said, born and bred Port Augusta, his dad was Wilmington. He got it out towards Max Connell, who dropped an absolute sitter in the pocket. That allowed BSR to come in. And once again, as I always say, stacks on the mill. Great play. A bad kick, unfortunately, from Slee that occasion. Well, it was probably a real oopsie, I've dropped it.
As far as commentators go, Slee's got blue boots, which is great, and Nick Jordan's got a bald head. So there's two things we can think about while we're commentating, Freddie. The ball makes its way down to the half-back line for RSMU. The player there in Slee with the blue boots tries to soccer off the ground, but doesn't get very far. And that player there is Josh Slade, who grabs the ball. He's tackled straight away, and the umpire will come in. Grant Roberts is the umpire, and he's going to throw the ball skyward. Plenty of players there. Shahinga gets the tap, but once again, nice piece of work to get it to Connell. Connell gets the handball, but it goes to the opposition player in Harsma. The ball's forced out in the tackle. Ends up in the hands of Alex Morgan, who snaps on the boot quickly down towards the forward 50. And good defensive mark by the player there for RSMU. I think that's Rhodey, who's been very busy. Very experienced player, Rhodey. Chips over, looking for the defensive work of RSMU. Krause, as far as the coach goes, gets the ball and he couldn't really see anything forward, so he's just booted as far as he could, and it's gone out of bounds on the far side wing. Isaac Moller, I should say, ran in the chase of the ball and was leading the chase, but the boundary line got there too quickly. Freddie?
Boundary umpire comes in. We've played 8 minutes. BSR those 4 minor scores, and that's the score. RSMU Hawks have only got it within their 50 on one occasion. Big Shahinga took it out the ruck. Good little quick handball over the player there in Sandball, I think it was, forced it forward. It's a bit scrubby kick though, and it's over the boundary line once again, about 20 metres from whence it came, around from the windsock, which shows the wind blowing due east really, north-northeast, so straight across the ground as we see the boundary umpire about to get it in again.
Ball goes up from the boundary umpire, and Shahinga once again gets a big tap, looking for the player there in Paddy Clark, but once again the boundary line comes across too quick, and the boundary umpire will go to the second row of cars, get the ball back, and he's over near the scoreboard, which shows BSR, neither team's kicked a goal, but BSR lead 4 points to nothing here at the beautiful Eudunda Oval, North Eastern Football League Grand Final Day. We'll keep you updated with as many scores as we can throughout the day. Shahinga gets a good tap, goes straight down the throw to Clark. Clark's tackled straight away, gets the ball out towards Krause. Krause chips in towards the forward 50. Nice piece of work there. I think that was by Cooper Hayes to defensively tap it forward, but it's coming back with a bit of interest. Nice soccer off the ground there by Joey Hines, last line of defence in RSMU's forward line, 15 metres out from RSMU's goal. Once again, the umpire comes in, stacks on the mill, and will throw the ball up. Score currently in the York Peninsula. CMS Crows 3 goals straight, lead Moonta 2 goals 1-13, a 5-point margin, 15-minute mark of the first term in the York Peninsula Grand Final being played at Yorktown. Haasma here gets the handballs to Luke Hayes. Luke Hayes gets the ball to the half-forward line. Fortuitous bounce goes over the top, ends up in the hands, well, it almost ended up in the hands of Isaac Muller. Nick Jordan was keeping him close attention, and the ball's been forced out of bounds 50 metres around from the BSR goal, right-hand side.
Few nerves early on, of course, as you could imagine in the grand final. Shahinga against his opponent there, comes out now to the player for Zach Heyer, of course, the veteran for the RSMU Hawks. Once again, he was under pressure though, and he just had to force it on the boot, and it goes with the wind and out that, well, it's gone down to the high school canteen by the look of it. Oh no, the water boy's got it back. It went a fair way down there. Right, we'll see the big fellas again. Shahinga comes in, tap down, but it goes towards BSR over the top there. Now good play there by Haasma, forced under pressure again, but down there working hard for the footy was Luke Hayes, I reckon. Could he control it? No, he can't. He took 2 or 3 grabs and it's over the boundary line, right around in that pocket.
Haasma, of course, known all around regional South Australia with all the football that he's played in other areas. Very good footballer. I reckon he's won a couple of male medals too, just quietly. Ball now in the forward 50. Jordan positions himself, well done by, I think that was Rhodey again. Gee, Rhodey's been busy in this first quarter. Deep in defence. He might have hurt himself on the downward landing. Limping slightly, but he's fine. About to take his kick, swings his hand around to say, this is where I want to kick it, so get over there, RSMU, and he does. He kicks over to the far side. Nice piece of work there to get the ball out of bounds by all players involved. Cam Longbottom was in the chase, but once again the boundary line over that far side where the wind's blowing everything. Ball goes out of bounds.
Well, they've confused me a bit, Chook, because they've got a number 6 out there, BSR, and we haven't been notified of a late change of Guernsey, but we'll battle on just the same. Shahinga up there, down it goes, stacks on the mill once again, and we can't get any definitive movement of the footy, and the umpire will come in again. 12-minute mark of this first term. You're listening to the North Eastern Grand Final on ABC Local Radio. BSR 4 behinds, RSMU yet to score.
I'm going to say that player's Paddy Weckett.
Thank you very much. You should know that's your sort of area, so we'll take, you're the boss, so I'll take it as, Big Shahinga gets it now, I'll take it as said. That's what I should have said, sorry. And he got out wide towards Cooper Bain. Bain on the outer side. No, it's not. I reckon it's a little fella in Milne, Sammy Milne with the headgear on. He goes into the forward 50. One of the only forays once again into there for the Hawks, but they're battling against that breeze a little bit. Out by the scoreboard, way out on the outer side. Stacks on the mill, Paddy Clark was in there for the Hawks, grabbed the opponent, and the umpire comes in again. So big Paddy Weckett's got number 6 on. Shahinga gets the tap. He gets a big bash down. Comes out now towards BSR defence. They work with a 1-2. Good play. Big long kick towards nobody, really. Who's in the race? The ball. Rhodey's down there somewhere. Here he comes out. Worked hard, the BSR player. There's Matty Longbottom. Gets it over the top to Alex Morgan. He fires on that goal. It might be a good-looking shot.
Lovely kick.
He's got it. It's snuck in just inside the right-hand goalpost, and Alex Morgan makes first blood with the goals for the afternoon for the BSR Tigers. They're 1-4-10. RSMU yet to score. We've played 13.5 minutes of the North Eastern League Grand Final.
Only had to break that one tackle, and he had a bit of meterage to spare, and Alex Morgan took advantage of that. Well played, Morgan. Well played, BSR. A couple of interchanges taking place on both teams now. That takes the score to 1-4-10. RSMU yet to score, and it's nearly the 14-minute mark of this first term.
One of those players that came off the interchange, I'm going to call him Sot Ashby, son of Tom. So there you go.
There you go.
Young Gussie Ashby.
Goes into the centre, as does the ball, as does the umpire, and he throws it up. Pat Weckett up against Shahinga. No real clear winner. Shahinga got the tap, but once again, no real advantage. Nice piece of work there by Luke Hayes to get the ball from a handball that was supposed to go to Connell, but Hayes chopped it off, and we'll have another ball up as Hayes was tackled beautifully by Connell. Shahinga gets the tap with the left hand. Nice piece of work to end up at the Molyneux. Molyneux gets the ball, but he went to put it on the left boot and missed it. Ricocheted out to Sam Ball. Sam Ball's tackled straight away, and it's on the half-forward line for RSMU, and the umpire throws it skyward again. That throw actually went out rather than up, but it's fortuitously ended up going to Ball. Ball gets it on the slipper. Milne ran over the top of it. Ben Cousins gets the handball. He gives it to Nathan Hayes, who was put under pressure and is tackled straight away. And 30 metres out from the RSMU goal, Milne hands the ball back to the umpire. RSMU opportunity to score. They're yet to score. They trail by 10 points. Good piece of work by... not sure who that was that did the ruck work for BSR, but they got the tap. It was Heinges, in fact. Taps the ball, and the ball ends up on the ground, and there's 4 or 5 players that jump on top of it, one of them being Ashby, one of them being Clark for RSMU, and the ball goes skyward again. 40 metres out from RSU goal. Clark gets the ball, taps it straight down the throat of Ball, who tried to put it on the slipper, and once again, good pressure. Ball hits the ground. Players get on top of the ball. Krause being one of those players, and we'll have another ball up. Once again, about 35 metres out from the RSMU goal. Heinges versus Clark. No real winner. Heinges does his own roving, and he's tackled straight away by Clark, and we'll have another ball up.
They'll go at it again. Heinges and Clark. Just in the about 40 metres out from the RSMU, kicking to the right of your dial. Comes down now towards the BSR players. The stacks on the mill. Once again, gee whiz, it's pretty willing, but that's fair enough. That's what it is. Nick Longmire was down there for the Tigers, and the umpire will ball it up once again. Up they go. Pat Clark getting in front, just tapped it down. No decided advantage, though. Quick kick off the ground around towards a player, and Alex Morgan, the goal kicker a while ago. He goes, and there's Zach Hire. He should have taken the mark, but he butted up beautifully. Quick handball over the top to the son of a gun roadie. He gets it out now, but taken there by Weckett for BSR. But, oh, hang on, what's happened? The umpire's called a free kick, and it's going to go to the little fella for the RSMU Hawks. Molyneux, thank you very much. He comes wide now looking for that player in Slee. Fairly prominent in this first quarter, Harrison Slee. Been kicking out as well. He's on the wing. Runs now, right in front of our commentary position and in between the two interchange, the interchange bench. He goes long towards the pocket. Working hard back there is the player in Joey Heinges for the BSR Tigers. And it goes out by the cricket nets, where you should have had a roll this morning ready for your big stint tomorrow.
Yeah, over 50s cricket tomorrow starts. Fancy starting cricket in September, but anyway, there's another story.
Is that age or kilograms?
I'm not sure. That's how many kilograms I need to lose, Freddie. Harsmer at the bottom of the pack. Umpire comes in. It's 40 metres out from the RSMU goals. Umpire throws it up, and the umpire has seen a free off the ball. Good piece of work, and I think it might be the player there in Mill getting a free kick. I reckon there might have been a shepherding or a holding free against Cooper Hayes.
He wasn't watching the ball, Cooper. Yep. He was only watching little Sammy Milne, and that's why the umpire paid. If he watched the ball for half a second, he mightn't got it paid against him.
Very difficult shot on goal. Not only is he kicking from 50 metres, but he's also kicking with a breeze that's going to hook the golf ball. If you're playing on the fairway, it'll end up in about third row of trees. It's a big breeze going from right to left. Very deliberate in his approach. Kicks right on the 50-metre arc. That's a nice-looking kick, but as mentioned, it's going to swing across to the left. I'm not sure what happened to the point post, but it's wobbling a fair bit. I think the players might have ran into it. Ball still in play. Umpire says the nose chance of getting away with it. Let's throw the ball skyward. 5 metres out from RSMU's goal. Goes up once again, goes down. Snap on goal, and it's gone straight across the face. Still in play. Player there, Nathan Hayes, goes to pick up the ball, but the boundary line beats him. and it's around 5 metres around from the right-hand side point post, and we'll now have another ball in RSMU's end.
Premiership player at Crystal Brook, of course, Nathan Hayes, in years gone by. In it comes once again. Big fella's fly, comes towards Slee, or he's standing there looking at it. Now he bends over, tackles the BSR player, comes towards Krause, though, the coach. Could have got one high, what did the umpire say? Put the whistle to the mouth, but said play on. Comes now towards BSR, that player there is Luke Hayes, I reckon. He's got hold of the footy, but his opponent from the Hawks has got hold of him.
Moller, mate. Isaac Moller.
Oh, sorry, it was Isaac. It was too. Of course, the son of the team manager, Adam, for the BSR boys. Shahinga works in front. Here's Slee again, trying to bullock way through. Krause gets the footy, goes towards Milne again. Couldn't quite take the mark in front of Cooper Hayes. He got it well done, right out wide. Player working hard. There's Nick Jordan for RSMU and Isaac Moller, the aforementioned forward pocket, and it goes over the boundary line. Once again, they don't have to go to the canteen this time, just to the drink fountain.
Good defensive work at half back by Cooper Hayes there to spoil the ball of the contest, Freddie. Ball's over on the far side. If anything, the breeze is actually favouring BSR's end. Not a huge breeze because it's going across the ground rather than down the ground. Slee gets the ball from the tap from Shahinga. Good piece of work to get the half forward line. The player there in Milne gets the ball and does a bit of a shimmy and a shake, goes inboard. Pretty ordinary shank of a kick, but it's going to be worked out all right. RSMU still has the ball. Oh, it's a bad bounce, and it ends up in the hands of Ashby. Ashby to Cousins, as in the Ben variety. Over to Stewie Longmire. They're still in the half back line for BSR. He's tackled. He gets a boot to it, luckily. Nice piece of work there by the player there in Brown. Still in the possession of RSMU. Comes down and finds Milne. Milne's too far out to score, but he looks up towards the forward line, trying to get the ball into a space. Nice piece of work there by Clark. Gets the ball down. I think that was Molyneux. Molyneux gets the ball. Ball has a miss kick. Ends up in the hands of the defensive player there in Ben Cousins, and we'll get a clearing kick from Luke Hayes, who's got the ball over on the far side wing.
Take one bounce as he strolls towards the wing. Now he parries and comes back inboard. Gets a quick kick down there, but it could be high, wide and handsome. It is, in fact. That's over the boundary line. But he gained himself 40 metres there, or his side 40 metres, which was fantastic. What have we played? We've played 20 minutes of this first term. Grand final nerves. BSR 1 goal 4-10. RSMU yet to bother the scoreboard attendance. Boundary umpire, as Chucky said, resplendent in green. Throws it in. Good throw in too. The big fellas, Shahinga and Simon Goss. Goss gets hold of the footy, kicks it. But once again, that wind, I think that wind, Chucky, is playing a bit more than what we think. As the ball goes high, the wind's catching it. As we can see, the trees in the distance blowing, so that wind is catching that. We'll have the resultant free kick back there to Webby Jordan, I reckon, back there.
Very good clubman Parko over there, boundary umpire, I believe.
Okay.
One of the twins. One of the twins from RSMU. Very good clubman out there doing the boundary umpire. Great to see. Nice piece of work to kick the ball in, RSMU, and a good contested ball on that. That's Shahinga. Shahinga, good contested mark. Goes down towards the wing. Nice piece of work, use of the body by the player there in Van Loon to nudge his opponent out the way. He went back to retrieve the ball that went over their heads, but once again the boundary line has beaten them to it, and we'll have another ball in over on the far side. As we've been mentioning, the breeze is going straight across the ground, so there is a lot of action over on the far side and a lot of ball ins by the boundary umpires over that very far side because of the wind direction.
Stewie Longmire just came off to the interchange bench and nearly went and sat by the Hawks trainers. He went to the wrong bench. He's right, he's on the go again.
Gets the ball, Luke Hayes gets the ball and kicks down, no real purpose except for trying to get it forward. Gets in the hands of Harsma. Harsma plays on looking for Sam Cousins. Good piece of work by Harsma. He didn't have to play on, but he wanted to create a bit of space for the forward line run, and Sam Cousins was good enough to run into a space. Kicking from a 45-degree angle, and he's going to be kicking from around 35 metres out.
Known as Bozo.
Yes, he is known as Bozo.
There you go.
CMS Crows, 4 goals 1. Quarter time, 4 goals 1. CMS Crows lead Moonta, 3 goals 3. Sam Cousins, very deliberate in his approach. The goal umpire did not move a muscle, except for the 2 arms saying, that's straight through the middle, ladies and gentlemen. Great work by Harsma. Had the poise, had the vision to look around, see a bit of space for Sam Cousins to run into. Well played, BSR. That's the first for Sammy Cousins. Didn't ask Freddie whether he was going to take any notice of the goal kickers, but I'm hoping you're making a note of them, are you, Fred? Good boy.
My word.
That's 2 goals 4. 16, leading RSMU yet to score. 23-minute mark of the first term here at the beautiful Eudunda Oval in the North Eastern Football League Grand Final. Ball makes its way back to the centre. Shahinga up against Wilson. Ball goes up, ball goes down. Shahinga gets another tap. Nice piece of work by Slee. He got the tap on it, but it went straight to Andrew Cousins. Andrew Cousins kicks down towards the half-forward line looking for Haasma. Haasma would have to be the smallest man on the ground, I reckon, but he just tackled one of the bigger ones. Luke Hayes, he absolutely kidnapped that ball out of the hands of the opposition, and it's had a shot on goal, and it's sliced across the right-hand side for another minor score to BSR. That takes them on to 2 goals, 5-17. RSMU yet to score, 24-minute mark of the first term.
All the scoring down that northern end or the left of your dial. Northeastern Grand Final.
Do people still have dials on their radios, Freddie?
Oh, well, I do, and I'm old fogey, aren't I? Here's Nick Jordan getting it out, uses the advantage that he can come right out away from the goal square, falls into the... Oh, could have been out in the full, I reckon, off the BSR. No, yes, it is off the BSR player.
No,
RSMU player. They're a bit confused. Oh. Boundary umpire says it was definitely out in the full, yep. And BSR will get the free kick. It's Alex Morgan. No, see, it's been turned over. Harrison Slee. Well,
Mally and I saw what happened. Mally and I saw what happened, and the umpires made a boo-boo there. It did go out of bounds in the full, but it came off RSMU, but RSMU have got the free kick, so work that out. Gets down towards the wing. Cam Longbottom gets a boot on it. Not a very good one, but it's good enough to get to Goss. Goss onto Cousins, as in Andrew. Andrew Cousins, that's a great kick to space. Oh. It's gone through the hands there of Longbottom. That's about the only thing that Matt Longbottom's done wrong for the whole year, Freddie, but... a spilt mark goes through for a minor score. That takes the score to 2 goals, 6-18 to RSMU yet to score. 25-minute mark of the first term.
Good game of footy. Now the RSMU Hawks full back to bring it back in. It's not Sleeve, he's hasn't got the white boots. Might be the blue boots. Might be Rhodey back there, it is. The skipper for the Hawks. He goes out wide. Good looking kick into the breeze. Breeze carries it. Now it comes over towards the player in Josh Slade. He's looking for Moller down there in the corner. He's a dangerous player. Puts it up in the air. What's the wind going to do? Well, it doesn't. It pulls it right across the face of goal. And Luke Hayes was there, but he wasn't there in time. And the boundary umpire comes in and grabs it by G pretty quick. 2 goals, 6-18. The Tigers, they lead the Hawks. 25 minutes played.
Ball gets thrown in by the boundary umpire. They're all doing a good job out there, the umps. Nice piece of work by Martin to tap it to himself, but it's going to be cleared away by Slee. Gee, did well to get out of that pack in a hurry. Slee goes over the far side, looking for the player there in Vater. Tom Vater's over there, but he's got company. And BSR was first at the ball. Tom Vater was the tackler, forces the player to the ground, and the umpire will come in to throw the ball up. That player being Cooper Hayes for BSR had the foot speed to get past Tommy Vader, but was tackled straight away. BSR's probably got the use of a 1-goal advantage as far as the breeze go, I'm going to say, Freddie. Ball ends up with Ben. Ben for RSMU gets down towards the half-forward line. Tom Vader does a bit of Ronaldo or Lionel Messi type of soccering, and the ball's been forced out of bounds 65 metres around from the RSMU goal.
8 scoring shots to none, so it'll be interesting what happens in the second quarter, won't it, with the breeze. Up they go again. Good tap down there by big Paddy Clark. He got over towards Krause, I think it is. Goes in towards, but the 50... Well, that's what metre line is that one, Chook?
That's the 15-metre line.
15-metre line. Thank you very much. As we see come out now for the player there in Jack Haasma. He got hold of the footy. And now comes towards our commentators, towards Matt Longbottom. Put the foot out, a la Toby Green, but he didn't hurt anybody. Here's Isaac Moller. He's a long way away from the forward pocket. He got it in turn down to his plane. He's kicked it beautifully to big Patrick Weckett. Oh, there's a man on his own down
Cousins.
here. Can he stand up, Cousins? Yes, he can. Big Sammy Cousins, big bozo. What will he do? Round the body. Looking for the player down there in Slade. He can't get it now. He's got hold of the footy. Dodges, weaves. Kicks on that goal. How will it bounce? Let's have a look. Goes right across the face of goal and eventually goes through between the big stick and the little stick, and it's 1 minor score. Yes, Chuggy?
Mally, our timekeeper, said that line is 25, not 15. So my apologies. We should have asked Mally. Mally's our man.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He just wants to be in the background, which is fair enough. Here's Rhodey once again kicking it out from full back. He's had a pretty good first quarter. Looking for Zach High. He can't get it, so he taps it away. The player there is Clavens as well for RSMU. Got hold of the footy, did well. Got it on towards Vater, but he couldn't get hold of the footy. It bounced off his chest. That's what happened to you and me, Chucky, because our chest pokes out more than a lot of other people's.
Because our arms can't get around.
That's right.
arms can't get around.
We've played 27, nearly 28 minutes. Can't be long to go in this quarter. I do know how long, but I'm not going to tell you, Chucky.
Matt Longbottom gets the ball on half forward, goes down towards the forward line. Good God, what a great contested mark. Has the umpire paid it? No, I don't think he has. Moller looked like he'd taken a contested mark, but it wasn't paid, and the umpire takes the ball to throw it up because he was tackled straight away. But as you can hear in the background, the siren has gone to finish the first quarter. BSR, 2 goals, 7-19, are leading at quarter time. RSMU yet to score. This is your local ABC, North and West, 639 on your dial, as Freddie would say. And
that's what everybody says, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's been a great opener, and the wind direction is, as we've been mentioning throughout the coverage, is going across the ground. But I think if it is favouring any end, it would be the end that BSR was going to, Freddie.
To the left of the screen, if you're making out, you're watching it on the telly, Chuggy, it certainly is. 2 goals, as you said, 2-7, so 9 scoring shots to nothing. So have they blown it, BSR? You won't know until half-time, because we'll see how much advantage the RSMU Hawks can take of it. So just the 2 goal kickers, as you can see, for the afternoon so far. Alex Morgan snapped the first one, and the other player was Sam Cousins with a deliberate shot on goal. So that's the 2 goal scorers. And RSMU yet to bother the scoreboard at all. They got it in there in the second half of the quarter a couple of times, but couldn't score. In fact, they had it right down. Chucky called that the point post got a bit of a whack by a player, so they had it right there. They couldn't get it over the line. BSR rushed it out, and as a result, no score to the Hawks. As we see the Hawks getting into their little back lines and their midfield and their forward lines, as they like to do nowadays, to have a chat. BSR doing the same as RSMU with that. COVID safe. There's a few people out on the ground, but they're staying well back from the huddles, which is fantastic. 19-point margin in favour of BSR. Quarter time here at the Eudunda Oval, North Eastern Football League Grand Final for 2021. The time is 5 minutes to 3. Thank you very much, Georgia Roberts, back in the studio. A bit of a promo there on the gardening magazine and the ABC gardening program. You'd be a bit of a green thumb, wouldn't you, Freddie? Have a look at them.
Freddie Freeman joining us here for the commentary of the North Eastern Grand Final. What's your favourite part of the garden? You'd be a lawn man, wouldn't you?
The gate out of it. That's probably my favourite part of the garden. Bit like visiting Victoria. Who said that? No, you're not allowed to say that.
No, you're not allowed to say that, Freddie.
Right.
Come on, Freddie.
Look, I do a little bit of gardening, but nothing better than growing your own vegetables, is there? You know,
have you got a vegetable of choice that you'd like to grow? I reckon Mally would be good in the garden, wouldn't he?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes?
Yeah. Mally, the way he's shaking his head that way, he's not good at anything. But he'll have a skill. We'll find out at half time.
He's very good at timekeeping, and that's where we are. We're in the timekeeper's box, and we've made some new friends along the way, Freddie, as the RSMU Hawks make their way out from their quarter-time huddle. They trail by 19 points. Freddie, what would you be saying to the players if you were the coach of RSMU at the moment?
I'd be saying, let's move the ball quick. Let's put it to the hot spot. Let's let that wind. You could see what it did for BSR in the first quarter. You get in quick. So move the ball quick. Don't mess around with it. Get in quick. Get it to the hot spot. If we can't mark and have a shot at goal, let's bring it to ground and let the little blokes go to work.
I've just got a quarter-time score in the netball here in the North Eastern Football League and Netball Association. Matthew Greenslade just let me know that at quarter time, RSMU trail Eudunda Robertstown 5-13. So the Southern Saints 13. Mally's pretty happy about that. Southern Saints 13 lead RSMU 5. That's a quarter time score. And of course, Jess Geister, the player of the year for the 7th time, should be killing it at the moment. She's a very, very good player.
Fantastic. And just updating a score from the Weiler Football League, thanks to Bomber and Bing over there, giving me the scores.
Bomber and Bing.
Bomber and Bing.
Have you made that up?
No, I haven't. No, Bomber and Bing, they're there. And we've got Waroona Bay going the first flag in 24 years, 3 straight goals into the wind. Central Weiler 2-3, so a close game there.
And quarter time, Moonta, 3 goals, 3, lead trail the CMS Crows 4 goals 1. That's quarter time in the York Peninsula Grand Final at Yorktown. The siren goes, the ball goes up to start this second term. Shahinga again, dominant tap, goes forward to the half-forward line, finds ball, he loses the handle on it, goes towards the player there in Lease, but he didn't get a handle on it either. Good defensive work by BSR. Cooper Hayes ends up with it, but he's tackled straight away. In fact, the player that tackled him actually ended up with the ball, and we'll have a ball in half-forward line for RSMU, 65 metres around from the right-hand side point post. Ball gets thrown in. The ruckman didn't get a chance to have a tap of it because it's gone straight over their heads, which was a fairly good effort by the boundary umpire, considering he's throwing into a big breeze. And the umpire says no way of getting rid of that either. We'll throw the ball skyward again. Umpires have done a good job. You haven't noticed it, which is always a good thing. RSMU player gets the ball on. I think that was Slee. Got the ball on the boot quickly down towards the forward line. Good defensive pressure there by the BSR Tigers defensive players. Still in the 50-metre arc-ish area. About 55 metres, if truth be known.
Is that a new word? Arc-ish?
Arc-ish, yeah, the 50-metre arc-ish. It's about 5 metres out from the arc, so it's arc-ish, Freddie. And the boundary umpires had to go and get the ball, and he'll be back to throw it in very shortly.
Talking about arcs.
Yes?
Yeah. You know when Noah built the ark?
Well, I wasn't around, but
no,
yeah, go on.
We had 15 points at Wilmington.
Very good, Freddie. Still the half-forward line for RSMU. The ball's ended up in the hands of the male medalist, Matt Longbottom. Goes down towards the player there in Martin. Good pickup. He roved his own tap after the barking contest. Looks for Moller, but it's bounced back over his head. Good defensive work there by the player there. I think that was Turney for RSMU. Gets it on the slipper straight away. Heads the ball in towards the centre. Luke Hayes takes a good mark and is going to pound it back into the forward 50 for BSR. Looking for Martin. Good contested ball there once again. Player there in Slade gets the ball. Handball's over the top, but it's well smothered. I think that was Hire that did some good defensive work. Ends up in the hands of Jordan. The bald-headed Jordan for RSMU. Just puts it on the slipper quickly. Morgan gets the mark. Plays on straight away, looking for Weckett. Weckett not only takes the mark, he also gets one around the ear, accidentally, by the player there in Van Loon. And Patrick Weckett, the youngster. Spent a bit of time down in Adelaide. He's boarding school down there. He's only a young fella.
Yep.
Can play and represented the state in, I think he's represented the state in football and cricket. But anyway, he's having a shot on goal.
Helped PAs to win the Intercol last week, in fact.
Kicking from 30 metres. Lovely looking kicking action. It looks like it's gone slightly to the left, but not very far to the left, and it's gone through for another major. That takes BSR to 3 goals, 7, 25 to RSMU yet to score, and it's the first score down that end, Freddie. So BSR pretty happy with that.
That hurts, doesn't it, when they couldn't score into it, RSMU, and BSR have done it in the first 2.5 minutes. So it certainly hurts the confidence, especially in a grand final. So BSR holding all the aces at the moment. 10 scoring shots, albeit 3 goals, 7 for the Hawks yet to score. Big Shahinga will try and change that in the centre, I'm sure.
You know, I was telling you that there was a lot of Robertsons involved, including Georgia Roberts. Well, one of the umpires is Grant Roberts, who throws the ball skyward. Shahinga gets the tap once again. Nice piece of work there. The ball ends up in the hands of the male medalist for this year in Matty Longbottom. He's tackled by the coach of RSMU in Krause. And there's a free kick being given. I'm not sure where it's going. It's going to Krause because of Krause's hurt himself. Yep. Keep an eye on this. This is big. He's limping. He might have done something to his ankle. We'll have to keep an eye on that, Freddie, because he's been playing well. He's a very influential player. I'll tell you what, his ankle's all right there because he's just picked up the ball and he's handballed it, but it's gone fortuitously to BSR's player in Longbottom. Very scraggly play, but it's a good clearing kick by Brown, who kicks the ball away. Daniel Hayes leads in the chase of the ball. The boundary umpire keeps an eye on it. Good piece of work there by Hayes to keep it in. Handballs to the player there. And there's a bit of argy-bargy happening behind play. And the player there in Van Loon's going to take a free kick because the ball was kicked out of bounds on the full. That player, Cam Longbottom, kicked it out on the full, and Van Loon kicked it in, and he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. So
I reckon he kicked the ground because he's limping as well, Van Loon. So
we'll keep an eye on Krause. Is Krause all right? Because he was limping quite badly, but it might have been because his shoe was coming off. We'll keep an eye on that for you because he's a very influential player, Levi Krause. Ball makes its way back in after a couple of errors, and nice piece of work by Turney to take the ball on the half-forward line. Pounds it back into the 50-metre arc. Players are finding it hard to judge the ball with the wind the way that it is. A nice piece of work defensively. I think that was Joe Hines just took a good defensive mark. Goes out towards the far side. Jordan's going to be the first one there for RSMU, but he ran over the top of the ball. Handball out towards Haasma. Haasma's got a couple of metres spare. Has time to look for Cousins, as in the Sam variety. Sam Cousins looks to the forward 50 arc for BSR, looking for some space. There's plenty of space down there. Nice piece of work from RSMU defence to work its way out with a handball from the player there in Rhodey. Gets it to Vader, and Vader clears to the far side wing.
Only comes as far as Matt Longbottom. Quick handball. Could be the 1-2. No, comes over the top instead to Luke Hayes. Luke Hayes fires towards that hot spot. Ruben and Marable's in good position. Tapped it down. Oh, well done, Zach Hire. Took the tackle when the BSR bloke could have got away with it. He laid the tackle and brought him to ground about 25, 30 metres out from goal.
Isaac Moller had 3 opponents in that forward foray then, Freddie.
Yeah,
RSMU bringing the numbers back, that's for sure. The ball's now in the hands of Longbottom, as in Matt. Handballs to Luke Hayes. Luke Hayes, a little chip kick. It's not going to go far enough finding Ashby. He actually finds the player there in Molyneux for RSMU. 50-metre defensive arc for RSMU. That's a dangerous kick. Luke Hayes spoils Connell. Connell chased after the ball, but Ashby got it. Handball to Sam Cousins. Sam Cousins kicks into the 50-metre arc. Martin, good contested ball. Rhodey, once again been busy down there. Clearing ball, looking down towards Shahinga, but Cam Longbottom snuck in and has taken the mark almost in the centre of the ground for BSR. Chips over, looking for Nick Longmire. Nick Longmire, half forward line for the BSR Tigers. Looks for the option. It's very crowded down there, so he's just gone as long as he can go. Looking down there for the contested ball, and there was players flying all over the place, and it's landed on the lap of the full forward, Isaac Moller.
Number 10, famous for Barry Robran, isn't it, the old number 10? Always one of my favourite numbers. I used to love watching the great Barry Robran play. Here's Isaac Moller. Word during the week that he was going to be one of the dangerous players of BSR. He's certainly a very, very good player. Cabinet maker, played a bit of reserves down at the Eagles as an 18-year-old. Anyway, he's famous for taking out Justin Duffy's daughter. That's what we're going to work on. In he comes. He's on a 45-degree angle. Don't worry, Mally, that's a fact. Mally looked around at me as I was strange, but it doesn't matter because Isaac Moller's done the trick.
I reckon he's more famous for kicking goals, Freddie, myself. But anyway, he has just done that. He has kicked a goal for BSR, and the score being 4 goals, 7-31. RSMU yet to trouble the scorers here at the Eudunda Oval, North Eastern Football League Grand Final. Beautiful day, beautiful conditions, a lot warmer than what it was at 6 o'clock this morning, I can tell you that for a fact. And the ball makes its way back to the centre. Vader's in there for RSMU, Shahinga's in there for RSMU, Connell's in there, and so Slee for RSMU. But once again, the tap fortuitously ends up in the hands of BSR. Series of a couple of handballs. Nice work by Hayes. Hayes looks down to the forward line. Good piece of defensive work by the bald-headed Jordan for RSMU on the 50-metre defensive arc, and he plays on straight away over towards the clubhouse side. Good fly of players. No real chance to take a second grab there for the player in, I think that was Longmire, and the ball ends up in the hands of Patrick Clark, who's tackled straight away and throws it back to the umpire. What's the score in the York Peninsula footy, Freddie?
Another update, the CMS Crows, great kicking, 6 straight goals, lead Moonta 4-3, 13 minutes into the second.
Cooper Hayes gets the ball, kicks down towards the half-forward line for BSR, goes past and bowls Sam Cousins, but it ends up in the hands of the Mar medalist, Matthew Longbottom, who's pushed on his kick, but there was nothing wrong with the push on the kick. The fact that it affected his kick has forced it out of bounds in the full, and RSMU will take the free kick over on the far side, just in front of the scoreboard. Interesting kicking style by the RSMU player, but it's effective, ends up in the hands of Connell. Connell, far side wing, got hair similar to yours, Freddie Freeman, gets down towards the half-forward line. Good defensive work there by Joe Hines. Joe Hines been good down there in half-back. Kicks straight away, plays on, finds Ben Cousins. Ben Cousins takes it down near his shoelaces. Little chip kick looking for Luke Hayes. Back into the centre of the ground, Luke Hayes looks at his options. Had a very good year, Luke Hayes. Very good player, very stylish player. Calls his forward line players to come forward a bit, and he's absolutely, I've put the mockers on him because that was an awful kick. Ended up in the hands of Rhodey for RSMU on the half-back line.
Son of club legend John, of course. Martin Rhodey, the skipper for the Hawks, goes down our commentary wing. Up, working up high there was a player in Pat Clark. Couldn't get hold of the footy. Comes towards Cousins now. He quick little kick around the body towards Josh Slade. He turns left, does well. Quick little handball over the top to the big fella in Patrick Weckett, but he was smothered beautifully by Big Shahinga. and it'll be a ball up, I think, as we've got another score update. Thanks, Chook.
Couple of score updates. Quarter time in Port Lincoln. Marble Range has not lost a game all year. Well, at quarter time they trail by a goal. 2 goals, 2 Waybacks. Lead Marble Range 1 goal 2. Also in the SGL, South Augusta 3 goals 2. Lead the Lions 2 goals 6. That's a quarter time score. The ball makes its way to the half forward line. Isaac Moller goes to tackle Zach Hire, and Zach Hire has hardly got a neck left. Very high tackle, and Zach Hire will take the free kick deep in defence. Goes to play on and then realises, well, hang on a sec, there's nothing to kick to. So he went back, and then he's gone out to where he originally wanted to go. It's going to be forced out of bounds. Bit of a boo-boo by Zach, but he didn't have any options there, Freddie.
No, there was nothing up forward for him to look at. Very experienced campaigner, as we've said all afternoon. Didn't have anything to kick to, and it's gone over the boundary line. The big fellas will fly once again. Big Clark's up there for RSMU. Brings it down, but there's nobody there but Matt Longbottom for BSR. Gets it inside the 50 arc. Good work down there by the player. Oh, it wasn't Matt Longbottom, was it? Or was it? I don't know. He kicked to himself if it was. That was just obscured by that player there. And once again, the boundary umpires...
You were actually right the first time. You should never doubt yourself,
No,
Freddie. It was Matt that handballed it inboard, but it's been forced out of bounds. Nice piece of work by Brown for RSMU defensively. They keep on tapping it a few extra metres further out, and it's now 55 metres out. I think that's Patrick Clark on the bottom of the pack for RSMU. Yes, it is. And he'll hand the ball to the umpire, and he'll throw it skyward 52 metres out from the BSR goal. Over the scoreboard side here at the beautiful Eudunda Oval. Nice work once again by the ruckman. I think that might have been Sam Cousins who put it on the slipper. No real plan of attack, but it's ended up fortuitously in the hands of Jack Harsma. He's had a good start to this game, and that's a lovely kick. Goes to the player there. I tell you what, the player there in Alex Morgan, he took the mark. He didn't need to play on, but he saw an opening and ran a bit closer and has put another one on the board for BSR. I tell you what, this is going one-way traffic at the moment, Freddie, and it's a surprise to me. I didn't expect it to be this way. It is 5 goals, 7:37. RSMU still donuts.
Alex Morgan, his second goal for the afternoon, and wasn't he happy about it? He was very happy. 2
reconstructions in the last 2 years. This is his first season back from 2 years off, I believe, Freddie.
Fantastic. So he's certainly playing well.
Yeah.
Back in the centre, Big Shahinga against Patrick Weckett. It's only about 16 or 17, Weckett, so it's fantastic. Up he goes. Shahinga did get the tap. Coming through hard, there was Brad Costa. Butters up a second time from his own tap. Can't get hold of the footy in opposition out there. To Andrew Cousins. They work hard, both teams, but once again Cousins gets it up over the top. Now it comes out towards the BSR player. He fires it up. Look, well, he was looking for Sam Martin, the captain. Well, here's Moller, got it on quickly as we watch the play, and he got it through. Yes, it's Isaac Moller's second goal. Well, the player bringing it in there was Cousins, I reckon, and he tried to get it to one player, got the other bloke, played on quickly, got it around to Moller. Moller fired on that goal. Bit of a scrubby kick, sort of an underground kick, went along the ground, but straight through the hay diddle. And BSR moved to 43-point leaders in this grand final. 6-7-43. RSMU yet to score. We've played 13 minutes. Northeastern grand final.
Do you ever get the feeling that you're on the wrong game, Freddie? All the other games that we've been talking about have been close, and this is a blowout at the moment, but it's early days. It's only the second term, and there's still plenty of time left in this second term. The ball makes its way skyward in the centre. Wilston, Shahinga do the contest. Play there, and Milne was tackled without the ball, and yes, the umpire's seen it that way. The helmeted Milne will take the free kick smack bang in the centre. They need something fast. They haven't scored yet. Halfway through the second term, goes down towards the forward line. Michael Aney was there, but he was tapped out of the way of the marking contest. Ball gets cleared away to Lease. Lease bounces off his chest. BSR on the half back line. Gets it down towards the half forward line. Male medalist in Matt Longbottom gets the ball. That was very clever play by Luke Hayes. He deliberately kicked it off the side of the boot. Simon Goss nearly took a mark without even realising the ball was coming. Nice piece of work there to get it down deep in the forward line. Zach Hire reaches the ball along with Sam Cousins. Sam Cousins picks it up. Nice handball for BSR. Nice work again. And I tell you, that's another one to Alex Morgan. That's his third, I think, Freddie. Right place, right time. Sam Cousins had the speed to get past Zach Hire there deep in defence. And deep in attack for Sam Cousins, of course. Nice, unselfish handball to Morgan. Morgan, third goal for the day.
And they're running them off their feet at the moment. We've played nearly 14 and a half minutes of this second term. You're listening to the North Eastern Grand Final on a local ABC local radio, and they're just running them off their feet, Chook. They're just running, working harder than their opposition at the moment, and it's showing on the scoreboard. 7-7-49, plays Zilch.
Ball goes up, ball goes down. Shahinga again gets the tap. Nice piece of work. Goes out towards Clavens, but once again can't get a handle on it. It's probably favouring slightly half forward line for RSMU, and the ball will be thrown up again by the field umpire. Umpires have done a good job. Roberts, Bazusto and Dixon. Nice piece of work by Clark. He did a don't argue. He tried to do 2 don't argues, and he's got done for holding the ball, Patrick Clark, by the smallest man on the ground, Jack Harsma. Harsma's been very busy and been very good. He kicks over, switching sides, looking for Ben Cousins. Cousins has got plenty of time to have a bit of a look. Looks down towards the half-forward line. Joe Hines, he's been spending all his time in the back line. Well, they're up by 7 or 8 goals, so he's decided to go down the forward line for a little while. Hines on the half-forward line, looks for the options. Few leads. That's an awful kick by Hines. That's an absolute shank. That looked like one of your 7 irons, Freddie.
And it went in the same direction, off cue. Right in front of the scoreboard, which shows the Tigers, BSR 7-7-49, giving the Hawks a bit of a lesson, unfortunately. They've got no score. Big Shahinga got it out. Came towards the players there. Who's that? Big Shahinga butted up beautifully again. Also in there's Sam Ball. Can't get control of the footy. Now over to Patrick Brown. Forced to, could have got one a bit high there, the BSR defender. He got it out, though, as far as Stuart Longmire. Stuart Longmire got it over the top there to Ben Cousins, known as Sugar.
Yes.
Smooth. Is he smooth, they say, or what is it? Or is he...
And he didn't play for West Coast Eagles either, Freddie.
No, there you go.
It's not that Ben Cousins.
But no, of course, it's Michael Cousins, lad, who we say good afternoon to Michael at Crystal Brook. He's probably here watching.
He is here watching.
The ball's up on the outer wing, right in front of that windsock, which shows the wind blowing straight across the ground. Comes towards Krause, the coach, who wants to try and lift his side. High and high and high, and it comes down towards that player in Slee. Had a magnificent first quarter, but he hasn't had much of it this quarter. And we'll need players like that, the experienced players that have played a bit of SNFL footy, to lift for the Hawks to get a score on the board. Right, as we see the umpire bring it up, Big Shahinga's trying his heart out, isn't he, in the ruck for the RSMU Hawks. Comes through towards the player in Sam Martin for BSR. Picked up by Harsma. Harsma goes on, good-looking kick there, and he's found the player you were talking about, went down back, Joey Hines. Comes out wide now, and a beautiful kick. Isn't that a great kick out in front? And that's what you want to do to Matty Longbottom. He in turn goes Isaac Moller nearly got hold of the foot. He's hurt his ankle as he hit the ground. That'll be bad news for the Tigers. We'll keep an eye on that as RSMU relieve the pressure, and it comes towards Clavens. Not far from our commentary box. He goes in towards the little bloke in Milne, drops a setter, comes to higher handballs to his coach under pressure, and the BSR player will bring it down. What's happening with Moller back there, Chookie? I think he's going to be all right by the look of it.
Well, he's told the water boy and the trainer to go away, so he's going to stay out there. Not long left in the second term. Mally's got his finger on the pulse there. I can't actually see it, but it's the nearly the 18-minute mark. 7 minutes remaining in this second term. 7-7-49 BSR. They lead RSMU yet to score as the ball goes up 50-metre up forward line for BSR. Clark did the tapped it straight to Andrew Cousins from the opposition and then tackled him, and the ball will go skyward again. Umpire throws the ball up. Once again, he's thrown it out rather than up. Zach Hire gets the ball. Handballs to Patrick Clark. Clark puts it down to the forward line. A nice piece of work there by the player in Costa to take a chest mark unattended in the half-forward line. Looks down towards Shahinga. Shahinga's having a rest from ruck down in the forward line. Bad bounce ends up in the hands of the defensive zone of BSR, and the ball hovers out towards the back pocket, looking towards Daniel Hayes, but the boundary line's beaten him. Deep in the defensive zone for BSR, 5 metres around from the left-hand side point post of RSMU. Ball goes in from the boundary umpire. Shahinga does a bit of roving off his own ruck work. Has a snap-on goal, but it's spoiled. Ball goes out towards the far side. Good clearing kick by the defensive zone of BSR, and 60 metres out from the RSMU goals. Looks like it's going to come back in with a bit of interest. Nice piece of work there. I didn't pick up who that player was. I reckon it might have been Connell, who's got the ball in, and nice piece of work to raise the eyes, if you like, and find a leading player to create a bit of space. And RSMU will have a chance to, I think it might be Costa, is it? You're right, Freddie?
I reckon it is,
Going to have a shot on goal for the first score for the day. It's a nice looking kick. It looks like it's close, and I reckon the big fella has taken the mark. Good work down there. in the goal square. And that's Michael Laney, I believe. Right on the goal line, next to the goal post, left-hand side goal post. He swings around and does a bit of a Stevie J hook kick, and it's their first score and it's their first major. It's a goal for RSMU. It's their first score for the day. That gives them 1 straight 6. Trail BSR 7-7-49, 20-minute mark of the second term, Freddie.
And does it give them that little bit of hope? Of course it does. It's a grand final. Anything can happen in a grand final. There's no doubt about that. 7-7-49 plays 1 straight goal as the ball comes back to the centre. And mentioned before, we need their experienced players to get into it. The coach Krause's in there with Big Shahinga, Harrison Slee as well, and Connell for the Hawks to try and get on top of the fleet-footed BSR midfield as well. Down it goes. And we'll see a secondary ball up. Not much to describe there. We'll have that secondary ball up again.
Shahinga's been good in the ruck, but it's not really getting an advantage for the centre-line players, is he?
It's certainly not, as he finds the ball down again. But once again, it comes just towards the Tigers player in Harsma. But the umpire's pulled out a free kick to the RSMU coach. No, in fact, he's found Slee. It is. Should see that receding hairline. I should be able to note that.
Oh, steady.
Well, have a look at him. Beautiful kick by Harrison Slee, though. And he's found the player in Pat Clark at centre half forward, just inside the 50-metre line. And the local 6'3" Pat Clark will have a shot on goal to that northern end. And can we see the RSMU Hawks kick their second in the minute? In he comes. Quite deliberate. This will give him some confidence if he can lift the side. Comes in. Good
nice
looking kick.
That's a great
He
kick.
likes it. The goal umpire looks to the heavens and says, I'll give that a goal. And he's put it through. 2 straight goals for the Hawks and gets them a little bit of hope, doesn't it? We've played 21 minutes, 21 and a half minutes of this second term. BSR 7-7-49 lead the Hawks those 2 goals.
Was worried about Krause and his ankle, but he looks like he's fine, and it's just as well because he's been good, Freddie. Gets in and gets the hard ball, and very important part of that centre line. Ball makes its way back to the centre. RSMU, last 2 goals, puts them both on the scoreboard, and they need another one before half-time. Ball ends up in the hands of Connell. Handballs quickly to his coach in Krause. Gets down towards the half-forward line. Good defensive work by Cooper Hayes. He handballed to no one because he just needed to get rid of it. Picked it up himself again and got tackled straight away. And we'll have another ball up on the half-forward line. The tackler for RSMU was Tommy Vader. Forward flank for RSMU. Wilston and Shahinga go at the ruck. Once again, a bit of aerial ping-pong. A few thumps of the ball, and it hasn't really gone too far at all. It's made its way to the 50-metre arc for RSMU. Stacks on the mill, as Freddie likes to say, and we'll have another ball up 50-metre arc, basically smack bang in front of the goal of RSMU. Grant Roberts, the umpire, throws the ball up. This time Wilston, decisive tap, and there's been a free kick given. High tackle on Tommy Vader, and Vader, I think he's probably too far out to score. He's going to be kicking from 53 metres. He thinks, well, hang on, what shall I do? Shall I go down as deep as I can? And he does. Oh, that's a great pass. That was a 45-metre pass. He saw a lead from the full forward there, from the full forward area, that player being Michael Laney, and the pass was perfect, Freddie.
It was, and they've just hit a purple patch, haven't they, the RSMU Hawks? This is what the crowd wanted to see. What did we have? 7 goals to nothing, but they've kicked the last 2. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what happens. Wyler Footy League, Central 7-4, lead Waruna Bay 6-2 at half-time. As he comes in now, Michael Laney kicked the first one from an angle.
Nice.
He's kicked one from 35 metres out at a 45-degree angle, and he gets his second for the quarter, of course, and the third for the Hawks, and they do get some hope. The BSR boys just looking around in wonder at the moment to see what they can do to stem this flow. 3 in a row. The BSR Tigers, though, hold a good advantage. 7-7-49. They lead the RSMU Hawks 3 goals 18. We've played 23 minutes, and if I could have a guess, I'd say there'd be 2 minutes and 46 seconds to go.
That's because you've got the stopwatch smack bang in front of you, Freddie, and you're listening to ABC North and West, and you are live here at the Eudunda Oval North Eastern Football League Grand Final, and of course the netball. And the Southern Saints were leading at quarter time by 8 goals in the A-grade netball, Freddie, so we will keep you updated with that as someone's gone to retrieve the football from a different suburb after that beautiful kick from Michael Laney. It's gone a fair way, and it's taken a fair while to get back in the hands of the umpire, Grant Roberts. Roberts, Bazzasto and Dixon, the umpires here, officiating today, and they're doing a good job, as are the goal umpires, as are the boundary umpires. The ball goes up. Shahinga once again gets the tap and then taps it again because it didn't go to any true advantage. Luke Hayes gets the ball down towards the half-forward line. Contest there between Brown and Cousins. Cousins gets the ball, goes in towards Matty Longbottom. Longbottom onto Slade. Slade chips out towards Ashby. Ashby trying to find a handle on it. He juggled it. Panics, gets the handball away, but it goes straight to Angus Lease. Lease for RSMU. Gets the ball down towards the centre wing. Nice work by Nick Longmire. Longmire tackled straight away. Ends up in the hands of Connell. And Connell's... Connell, I'm not sure what happened. I think something might have happened before Connell grabbed the ball. I think one of the BSR players in Nick Longmire was held onto without the ball, and the umpire, Grant Roberts, comes in and says, bring the ball back, as the ball nearly does hit him on the head as it's coming back.
That's the way to avoid it. Don't look at it, just put your head between your hands.
And Nick Longmire will have the resulting free kick, smack bang in the commentary box on the wing, the clubhouse side. Good piece of work there by Jordan for RSMU defensively. Zach High had the ball. He was tackled and it popped out of his hands. Goes down to the ground. High jumps on the ball. Ashby jumps on him. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball skyward 45 metres out from the BSR goals. Umpire Dixon throws the ball up. Shahinga once again decisive tap straight down the throat of his player there in Rhodey, but he's tackled straight away by Slade, and the umpire will come in again to throw the ball skyward. The
big fellas will go up. Shahinga and Weckett. Up they go. Well, Shahinga fell over, didn't really want to get up by the look of it either, but now he has to.
He's had a big day.
Because it's going to be another secondary ball up, just inside the 50-metre arc. Up it goes. Down they go. Shahinga gets it, but only as far as Bozo Cousins. He can't get hold of it. Weckett did a good job, the young fella, and he is the bloke that's got the male medal, and that's why he got it, because he grabbed hold of the footy and wanted to go straight through the pack. Chook.
Shahinga has been brilliant, and he can't blow out a candle at the moment, Freddie. He's absolutely spent. He's waiting for the half-time siren, but he does get that tap. It ends up in the hands of Weckett. Once again, the ball hits the ground, and players jump on the ball, and the umpire will come in to throw it skyward again. Freddie, some great play, but some tired players out there leading up to half-time.
Well, especially the big bloke that's going to carry the ruck for the second half, isn't it? Down they come, very close to half-time, I'd reckon, in this grand final. And it stacks on the mill once again. I don't reckon we'll get another score, as it's right on the 50-metre arc.
I wish you'd stop saying, I reckon there's not much time left, because you've got the stopwatch in front of you, Freddie.
Well, you're not supposed to say that, Chook, because I'm getting away with it. It's radio, not television, you remember. Another ball up. That's about 4, and it's half-time here at the lovely, as we keep saying, the lovely Eudunda Oval. Malley puts the left finger to use and blows the siren for half-time. And as we go into half-time, we've seen the BSR boys kick the first 4 goals of that quarter, but then RSMU's kicked the next 3. Half-time, Northeastern Grand Final, and it's the BSR Tigers at 7-7-49. Lead the RSMU Hawks 3 straight goals, 18. I'll just run through while you're getting yourself together there, Chook. The goal kickers for BSR, we've had Alex Morgan, had a pretty good game, 3. Isaac Moller, 2. And singles to Sam Cousins and Patrick Weckett. And for the RSMU Hawks, Michael Ennie's kicked 2 and Pat Clark the other one. But as we see them traipse off, there's a little bit of hope for the Hawks, I'm sure. And the BSR Tigers will be saying to themselves, you just got to keep it going. As we see Levi Krause just getting the troops in there. He's got the water bottle in hand. He's saying, come on, boys, let's get in and gather ourselves for the second half. BSR holding the sway, 7-7-49. The Hawks 3 straight goals, 18.
Here on ABC North and West, we hope you're enjoying the coverage here from the Eudunda Oval Northeastern Football League Grand Final Day for 2021, I should say. Hopefully we'll have some more score updates from around the grounds of regional areas for you very shortly. But for now, the time is 3:26 on your Saturday afternoon.
Wouldn't be here.
Yes.
We'd be gone.
The ball. Santa, it's the three-quarter time is about to get started. Very quickly before we do start, list off some players that you think's played well from both teams, Freddie.
Righto, we'll have a look at the BSR boys first. Cooper Hayes, these is not in any order. Jack Harsmer, Matt Longbottom, Luke Hayes has done well, Alex Morgan, and I thought Isaac Moller with a couple of goals, but Alex Morgan's probably been one of the better ones. Martin Rohde, Levi Krause, Harrison Slee's had a good half. Shahinga, of course, has been light-hearted, and Michael Annie with the 2 goals in that quarter. As we're starting the third quarter, Chucky Haslett.
Well, we'll talk about better players a little bit later on when we've got more time. The ball gets in the hands of Milne, who's swung around in the tackle, gets the ball down towards half-forward line. Matt Longbottom's been very good. He's the male medalist for 2021 and he's playing like it. Gets it down towards the half-forward line towards Slade for BSR. He's tackled by, I think that was Slee. Yes, it was Slee. Shoelaces entangled in their boots and they separated each other, and the ball is now in the hands of the umpire who throws it skyward. Wilston versus Shahinga. Shahinga again taps the ball, but this time straight to Morgan for BSR, who's tackled straight away by Molyneux. And the ball once again, still in the centre of the ground, goes to umpire Dixon, who throws it skyward. Wilston versus Shahinga. Shahinga again gets the tap. Once again, no real clear advantage. Hits the ground. Players jump on the ball. Players jump on players. And Milne will be the last one standing and hand the ball to the umpire for the 4th ball up in 25 seconds. 31 points the margin in favour of BSR on ABC North and West. Hopefully enjoying this coverage from the Eudunda Oval. Brilliant conditions. The wind's no real factor. If it is heading any direction, it's probably favouring BSR, who lead by that 31 points. Once again, nothing really to commentate on because the ball's still in the hands of the umpire, who's thrown it up for a 6th time in 35 seconds. Once again, guess what, Freddie? Guess what's going to happen this time, Freddie?
You're going to pass it over to me, aren't you?
I'll give you 3 guesses. What do you reckon happened just then?
A baller. Shahinga and Wilson once again. Can we get it out? I'll have a go. Yes, I can. Look at that. Came down towards Harsmer. Could have been tackled high. Umpire called play on, but there is a high tackle. Oh, Harsmer and Slee don't like each other real well. But it's in the meantime, it's come to Morgan. Had a good game. He goes on long as there's a bit of a Donnybrook. Doesn't matter because the play goes on. Down there towards the player in Sam Martin for the BSR Tigers. And it goes over the boundary line. And they're still just sorting each other out. Harrison Slee said to Jack Harsmer, "You're not on my Christmas list. I am not getting you a card if cards are a thing anymore."
They are, but not as frequent as an email. But anyway, nothing that will happen. A few haymakers were thrown, but nothing connected, thank goodness. It's on the far side wing. Cooper Hayes ends up with the ball, swings it around his body down towards the forward line for BSR, but good defensive work by RSMU to take the defensive mark. Lease is the player over on that far side. Kicks down towards centre wing over the far side, I should say. Good piece of work by RSMU. A series of a couple of handballs, but it's ended up. Unfortunately for Ben Cousins, it was dribbling on the ground and Ben went to pick it up, but it hit his boot and it's gone out of bounds on the fall.
Bad luck, that's for sure. Right in front of the windsock. They kick it long now, the Hawks. Oh, it's a scrubby old kick, and it's fallen to Matt Longbottom's hands, and he'll take the footy and say thank you very much indeed. So we've got a score from Port Lincoln by the look of it at half-time. Way back, 4-6, lead the undefeated so far, Marble Range 1-7 in their grand final of the Port Lincoln Footy League. So, could be an upset there. Long time to go, though, of course. Same as here, 7-7-49. Plays 3 straight goals, 18. We've played 3 minutes. Boundary umpire, no, it's the field umpire, in fact, puts it up. Shahinga gets a good tap. It's way out on the outer side wing. Comes to Krause. Krause with a quick kick. Goes up a lot higher than it went long. The wind certainly picked up that one. Comes towards Lease for the Hawks. He can't keep it in, and it's over the boundary line. Once again, we'll see another boundary throw-in. There's been some ball-ups and some boundary throw-ins with the windy conditions, and a grand final, of course, so it can be a bit scrappy. Big Shahinga took it in front of Wilson. Wilson laid the tackle. Coming through there was Krause once again. He couldn't get in. Fact, he got just on the boot, and it's over the boundary line on the full. Back there is the BSR player. He's going to try and get it out. Longmire back there, kicks inboard, looking for Andrew Cousins. Can't get control of the footy. Krause's got the footy now for the Hawks. Turned it over, comes in, but the player in front there was Joe Hine. Just couldn't get a handle on the footy as well. Now the player for RSM in Clark tried to keep it right in front of that scoreboard, which shows once again 7-7, I think it's 49.
Yes, it
plus
is.
3 straight goals, 18. The poor old scoreboard attendants gone for the party at half-time and forgot to come back.
No, I'm not sure. Well, I don't think he's forgotten to come back. It's taken a fair while to get a past here today. There's a lot of people here, Freddie. We should know you ended up with a gluten-free sandwich.
A sensation it was too. I had 3 and only really had 1.
Ball over on the far side. Boundary umpire, I think that might be Ben Mumford over there, throws the ball in. Wilson versus Shahinga. They've been at it all day, and Shahinga's been winning it quite a lot of the day. He does his own roving, picks it up from his shoelaces, kicks it down towards the forward line, but good defensive work by Cameron Longbottom. Cam Longbottom kicks out towards the clubhouse side. Slade is there with the player there from RSMU. Both of them say good day to each other by hugging each other with the ball in hand. A roadie, and roadie says, here you go, umpire, throw it skyward again. Umpires have been good, Freddie.
Certainly have.
It's Goss versus Rhodey in the ruck, which is a bit of a mixed match. Goss gets the tap, ends up in the hands of the RSMU playing Connell. Connell handballs to High throws it, but the umpire didn't see it that way. Gets in the hands of Rhodey. Rhodey goes down towards the half-forward line. It clean bowls Sam Wilson. Ben Cousins gets the ball down near his shoelaces. He's tackled straight away by Milne. And once again, that very popular term of the umpire will have it and throw it skyward will happen again. Half-forward line for RSMU. Wilston gets the tap straight down the throat of Morgan. Morgan goes to play on, and he didn't have prior opportunity, but the umpire said you tried to break through, and it's a free kick for holding the ball. Ball goes into the forward line for RSMU. It's in good defensive work there. I think that was by Weckett and Hine just tapping the ball out over the boundary line, and we'll have another ball in RSMU's 50-metre arc.
And guess who'll go at it? Shahinga and Wilson. Up they go. Tapped there by Wilson, got front position. Good play there by young Gussie Ashby. Got hold of the footy, but it only dropped on the ground. RSMU came in, picked it up. And once again, that player was Paddy Clark. He's had a fair few touches today too. And it'll be another ball up. Wilson got it down again. Came as far as the player in Morgan, who's had a good game. Got it out wide, right in front of our commentary position. Good play, Josh Slade, but it went awry, and Ben Molyneux picked it up, and he forced it out. The umpire says it was a handball. Give the old gesture with the handball so the players knew. And over the boundary line, right in between the two coaches' boxes and right in front of our commentary position. Up she goes.
Slade did the look-away handball without anyone knowing that he was doing it, including himself, and it's gone out of bounds. But Shahinga, good piece of ruck work, gets the ball, handball to Lease. Lease to Zach High, deep into the forward line. Here's an opportunity for RSMU. Good defensive work there by the BSR Tigers in Hinges and Weckett again, pairing up beautifully. Lease, over on the far side, wing. Leads in the chase for the ball for RSMU. Bit of a don't argue. It's the 7-minute mark of the third term, and there hasn't been an addition to the score since half-time. Scoreboard shows 7-7-49, a 31-point margin in favour of RSMU, who are 3 goals 18 here on ABC North and West.
Perhaps it was a number 4 from the 49 that went for the sandwich because it's missing. Anyway, comes in now the RSMU, but beautiful play there by Morgan. Once again, have a look at this bit of pace through the centre square. Comes in, looking for Moller. Couldn't get a handle on it, but it comes down fortuitously to Slade. Slade, a quick handball over the top to that player in Hindus, was it? No, it was Wilson, I reckon. Sorry. And he's missed, I reckon. Yes, he has.
Hit the post.
So it's a minor score.
No, Goss, correction, it was Goss.
It was Goss, righto. If we go through 18 or 21, we'll get him eventually. RSMU to bring it out. First score for the third quarter, 7-8-50 the Tigers. Lead the Hawks, 3 goals 18. Comes towards our commentary position. Ben Cousins, though, is in the way for the BSR boys, and he'll put it into attack. Looking up, doesn't really know where to go. But the old beard going there, Benny boy. He goes long, over the top. Came down towards the player in Goss. Goss handballed backwards to Morgan. Morgan's been prolific, hasn't he? Goes long towards that hot spot, carries the pack. Down there was a little fella, Andrew Cousins, son of Flea. He looked about the size of Flea as well, couldn't get hold of the footy. And once again, it's gone through for a minor score. And we'll have another kick in. Might be the coach going to kick it in this time. He's going to take control of the show.
Tell you what, BSR don't like kicking goals down that end. I think they kicked about 7 points in the first term going down that end, and they've added 2 points so far this quarter. Krause looks at the options, doesn't like too many of them, but he goes down deep and long as far as he can to the experienced player in Zach High, but it doesn't get that far. It's chopped off by young Connell, who hasn't been too bad today. A couple of weeks ago, he was probably pretty close to best on ground. He's been a bit quiet today. Chips the ball over to Slee. Slee looks inboard down the corridor, but decides, well, that's not really a good option, so I might just chip it down the line, looking for the big fella in Shahinga. Ends up in the hands there of Costa. Costa handballs towards Vader. All players lose the handle and it goes over the boundary line, and we'll have another ball in. Half forward line for RSMU. They need a goal. They need it quickly. They trail by 33 points. Shahinga, big tap forward, but once again, BSR players are there in defence. Good piece of work by Patrick Clark to knock Cooper Hayes off the ball, but Ben Cousins there to mop up. Goes around on his left and goes down towards the commentary box wing, and it ends up in the hands of Zach Hire. Zach Hire with that beautiful left leg goes inboard looking for the forward line players, but Cam Longbottom's there. Good defensive mark, uncontested, and he'll play on straight away and goes out the far side looking for Longmire.
Longmire's got hold of the footy. No, in fact, it's
Weckett.
Yes, there he goes, the outer side wing, looking for the player down there in Long. That was Stewie Longmire. Couldn't get hands on the ball. Hits the deck, and of course, as I say, she's going to be stacks on the mill. Another ball up as we see the interchange being made with Stewie Longmire coming on for Big Wheelston. Up it goes. Shahinga, I'm sure, is in there. Yes, he is. Gets it, but only goes to Cousins for BSR. Quick kick around the body. Hits down in that pocket and beats the two players working hard down there to get to it. And it stays inside the boundary line, the boundary fence this time. So the poor old boundary umpire doesn't have to go quite as far to fetch. What do we got? 7-9-51 plays 3 goals 18. We've played nearly 11 minutes of this third term North Eastern Grand Final.
Good piece of work on the forward 50 arc there for BSR, but the ball's been contained. If you notice, Rhodey and Longbottom are spending a fair bit of time together. The experience of Rhodey on this year's male medalist, Matt Longbottom, they're wearing each other like a glove at the moment, almost a tagging situation. Shahinga, another tap. This time it doesn't really go to an advantage again. It ends up in the hands of Harsma. Harsma goes down towards that combination of Rhodey and Longbottom, but a good piece of work, a bit of roving by Sam Cousins. Gets the ball, follows up his own kick, has another go, and like a goalkeeper in the soccer, I think someone have they touched on the last line of defence?
He's celebrating.
Sam Cousins celebrating. The boundary umpire is saying that it was a goal to the main umpire. The main umpire is saying, what's the goal umpire say? And the goal umpire says, that is a goal. A bit of confusion there. There's a bit of a round Rosie with all the umpires there at one stage.
Bit of confusion. Everybody's confused, including you.
Sam's Cousins was celebrating the goal, so he knew that it was a goal, but I don't think anyone else did. But another one to BSR. Fortuitously, Sam Cousins kicked the ball, it was spoiled, it landed up in his hands again, and he had another snap. Good goal, BSR. Good goal, Sam Cousins.
Guess who's in the middle? Shahinga for the Hawks.
Geez, been good.
Big Goss has come in. He usually plays centre half forward, but Simon Goss up in the ruck. Shahinga, good big tap. This time finds Van Loon. He in turn goes in looking for the player down there. Oh, good defence. So hang on. No, I think the umpire has picked it out. And it will in fact go to the RSMU player in Pat Clark. I didn't pick him up at first. He was in the contest. There was 3 opposition on him. The umpire deemed that it was not the right thing to do to block. So it's a free kick. Righto, Paddy Clark, he's got 1 goal. He's directly in front, kicking into that breeze a little bit. Chooky, you're waving the finger around.
Lucky for RSMU there, because Patrick Clark was there against 3 opponents. So to get a free kick was very, very good for RSMU. And Clark, nice looking kick. He reckons it's been touched. Excuse me, the man on the mark said it was touched, and everyone else agreed as well, and it has been touched. It went through the middle of the goals, but it was touched on the way. Minor score. That is the first minor score for RSMU. They go to 3 goals, 1-19. They trail BSR 8 goals, 9-57. 13-minute mark of the third term here on ABC North and West at the beautiful, beautiful Eudunda Oval.
It certainly is. Windy but beautiful. That's all good.
Well, it's not windy where we are.
Can't control the... No, that's for sure. Can't control the weather, and it is a lovely spectacle here because the oval's in tip-top condition. Outer side wing, just by the windsock. Comes in, Shahinga, gets it down, Goss and Shahinga. They fall on top of each other and they think, well, now we'll have another ruck contest because the umpire going to throw it up once again. 13-minute mark of this third quarter. Both teams trying to get that ascendancy. Shahinga probably got the tap. Matt Longbottom coming through, couldn't get hold of the footy. Josh Slade's got hold of it now though for BSR, goes inboard. Riverton player puts his hand up. They're working hard, every player there. Once the ball hits the deck, the old premiership quarter in at the third quarter, and all players are starting a little bit puff-chooky, but they're working hard. That was Zach Hire back there, of course, with his experience.
Good piece of work in defence by Hyatt. Ball goes skyward. BSR's forward line 30 metres out from goal. Once again, the ball goes up in the ruck. No real clear advantage, but it ends up in the hands of Harsma. Harsma gets a handball out, but once again hits the ground. Nice work by Daniel Hayes to pick up the ball at shoelace level. Kicks it, but smothered. Good piece of work by RSMU defensively. Hayes gets the handball to Harsma. Harsma shot on goal. The goal umpire doesn't move. That's another one to BSR. Harsma found an opportunity to be a few metres clear. He looked like he was wandering around like an unregistered dog out in his own there, Freddie. And a goal to Harsma. Smallest man on the ground, I reckon he is, but very good player, as we know.
He's a little fella, isn't he? And I've got it on good authority, not from you this time, but this will be Jack Harsma's last game for the Tigers.
Oh.
So wouldn't he want to go out? Off to Sydney, the little fella.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Is that a rumour or is that a fact?
That's a fact.
Well, there
that's
you go.
A fact. Yep.
Ball makes its way back to the centre. I've really loved Shahinga's game. And once again, he gets the tap straight down the throat of his rover in Slee. But Slee's tackled by Cousins and Harsma. And the ball will go back to the umpire to throw it skyward again. Once again, Shahinga versus Wilson. Wilson gets that tap, goes straight down the throat of Harsma. But this time, Harsma's tackled by two opponents. And once again, the umpire will come in to throw it skyward. Up it goes, down it goes, and good tap by Goss. Goss tapped it, this time to Slee for RSMU, who's tackled straight away. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up again.
Gee whiz, I'll try and get it away from like I did last time.
You did it last time.
Yep, we'll have a go. Shahinga will get the tap, I reckon. Put himself in front. Yes, he did.
Yeah, good umpiring.
The umpire said the player out there in Goss leant over the top of him, and big Justin Shahinga, known as Bocker, will get the free kick. And he's just out from the centre circle.
He's been dominant in the ruck, but it's not going to his players a lot of the time. Fred, what do you think about that in regards to best players on the ground?
Well,
he's getting a lot of taps, but they're not going to advantage. The ball ends up on the half forward line in Slee's hands. Slee out towards Krause. Too far out for Krause to mark, but good enough Krause to get the ball. He gets tackled straight away and he handballs. Ends up in the hands of BSR's defence in Cam Longbottom. The umpire said the player was being held onto after the disposed it, and there'll be a free kick on the 50-metre arc for RSMU. Not sure who that player is. I think it might be Van Loon. We'll have a look at it and we'll let you know shortly. Gets down towards the half forward line. Great contested mark by Clark for RSMU, and he'll have a shot on goal. Very similar to the last time he had a shot on goal, but last kick he had was touched off the boot. We'll see whether he learnt from his little mistake and have a shot on goal. He'll only be kicking from around 20 metres, maybe 25 by the time he hits the slipper, but no angle to talk of, Freddie.
In he comes, Paddy Clark. He should get this one from that 25-metre line, as Malley told us. Fires on that southern goal, and he's got it this time, which he certainly needed to, because the RSMU Hawks really needed it. That's their fourth goal for the afternoon at the 17-minute mark of this third term. The BSR Tigers 9-9-63, RSMU 4-1-25, and as I said during that second quarter, just gives them that little bit of hope. It's a grand final. They've got to play right to the wire, don't they? There's no doubt about that.
38 points the margin in favour of BSR. This is ABC North and West. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage live from the Eudunda Oval, Northeastern Football League and Northeastern Netball Association Grand Final Day. Ball's making its way back to the centre. SGL, 5-2, South Augusta. Trail, props Lions, 8-9. That's the SGL preliminary final. Currently a 25-point lead at half-time for the Lions at Port Pirie Memorial Oval. Ball makes its way into the centre here, deep into the third term. It's the 18-minute mark of the third term here at Eudunda, and the ball goes up, the ball goes down, players jump on it, and we'll have the ball up going again. Shahinga, once again, good piece of work by youngster Weckett to get the tap, ends up in the hands of Slade. Slade gets it to Ashby. Ashby goes down towards the half-forward line. Good defensive work by Van Loon, I think it is there. No, it's not. It's Turney for RSMU, who takes the defensive mark, kicks it out the far side, and it's gone out of bounds.
And we've got a score from the Weiler Footy League. Three-quarter time, Central Weiler 7-5, lead Roona Bay 6-7.
Gee.
And anybody's game, to what my correspondent says. Big Shahinga gets a couple of taps there, comes down towards the player in Pat Clark. That was the last goal kicker. And she'll hit the deck. And the umpire will once again come in and ball it up. So we see it right out in front of that windsock. A lot of the plays out there, of course, because the wind's dragging it out that side of the game. Big Shahinga got it over the top. Clark's in, or it wasn't Clark in fact, I don't think, but anyway, the RSMU Hawk player got it. BSR fighting very hard. They're desperate now because they just need to get an advantage. Good kick out there eventually by BSR. Looking down there for Simon Goss, but it's out in front of him. The RSMU Hawks player looked as though he wanted out on the full. That might be Turney back there, I reckon.
Yep.
And it was out on the full. Right in that defensive back pocket for the Hawks. Gets it up. Working his way in front was a player in Connell. Couldn't get hold of the ball though. Oh, over the top. Krause was in there as well. BSR battling hard. One of those players, Nick Longmire, in there, walking around the pack thinking what's going on or asking what's going on for the Tigers. Luke Hayes is there as well. The umpire once again will ball it up.
Ball on the half-forward line for BSR. Ball goes skyward. Shahinga gets the tap, but once again, no real clear advantage. But he ends up going down towards Slee. Slee gets the ball and whacks it on the slipper, and it's going to be out of bounds in the full, I think. No. Yes. No. It's going to be a free kick, in fact. Must have been a high tackle. RSMU clearing ball. I think that was Zach High. Gets the ball over towards Rhodey. Rhodey, 25 metres out from the defensive goal of BSR. Rhodey plays on, goes back over the other side, switches play. Just keeping possession of the ball, RSMU. They're still deep in their defence. Ball goes down to the wing, looking for Clark, but didn't get that far. Went through the hands of Connell for RSMU. A series of a couple of handballs ends up in the hands of Krause. Goes to take a kick and smothered. Harsman's there, picking up from shoelace level. He's too close to the boundary line. It's been forced out of bounds, and we'll have the boundary umpire throw it in again.
The big fellas. Looks like Pat Clark's in the ruck now for the Hawks at the moment, giving Shahinga a little bit of a blow. It was Simon Goss got his way in front though for the Tigers. Down again in front of the pack. Nobody can get it out.
About time Shahinga got a bit of a rest because he's been rucking well all day, hasn't he?
He's probably out having a spa, poor bloke. He should have anyway, shouldn't he? Just to have a bit of relief and then come back for the final quarter. Up she goes again. They got it down. Clark again. Out there the player in higher as well. Also out there was Patrick Brown for the RSMU Hawks. Once again, it's over on that outer wing, long way away, Chook. We can see that the boundary boy's got green on. That's a start. Throws it in. Oh, hit the coach for the Hawks in the back of the head. That's not very handy when you want to get the ball if it hits you in the back of the head. And the gone down in a tackle. He comes up with a little bit of a limp. He has hurt that ankle a little bit, but he's playing on manfully. They go. Goss is in there for the Tigers. Gets it out. Comes down now, quick little kick around the corner, gives an option for the Tigers now, inside 50, got hold of the footy.
Well
beautiful
done.
parry around there. That player, in fact, was Josh Slade. And he's kicked an absolute pearler, hasn't he? He worked his way out of the tackle, went one way, then the other, turned himself inside out, fired on that northern goal, and he's put it through. He's had a pretty fair afternoon. It's his first goal, though, and we see the BSR Tigers go to 10-9-69, lead the Hawks 4-1-25. We've played 22 and a half minutes. Third term, Northeastern Grand Final.
Lovely bit of a shimmy and a shake by Josh Slade. Very impressive, and kicking that from around 40 metres and never looked like missing. Beautiful kick as the ball makes its way back to the centre. Goes skyward. It's Wilston versus Shahinga. Shahinga gets the tap again, but it ends up in the hands of Morgan. Like his game today, Freddie. Goes down towards the half-forward line. Stack of players. Good defensive work there by Turney and Zach High for RSMU to contain the ball defensively. It's been squirted out. Ends up in the hands now of... I think that was Isaac Moller that had the ball in the end, but he's tackled and the umpire will come in 45 metres out from BSR's goal. And we'll have another ball up.
We're very fortunate because our netball correspondents walked into the commentary box. So at three-quarter time, hopefully we'll be able to get the netball correspondent.
And I reckon Mally might be happy.
Oh, Mally's going to punch the air. He might even leave. We might have to do the timekeeping.
The ball's made its way back to the centre with a series of a couple of handballs and a kick. And there's been a free kick found to the player there in Lease for RSMU. That beautiful long left leg goes out towards the far side scoreboard. Held up by the breeze, so the breeze is definitely advantage for BSR at this stage. They are kicking with the breeze and they lead by 44 points. How good's my maths, Freddie? 44 points the lead in favour of BSR here on ABC North and West, and it's deep in the forward lines for RSMU. You
always told me that grade 4 at the Gladstone High School was the best 3 years of your life.
Yeah, no, I'll actually repeat it at 6 years, but that's okay. Ends up in the hands of Mike Laney. He threw the ball out and the umpires picked up on it. I'll tell you what, the umpiring's been very good today, Freddie. I cannot fault the umpiring at all.
3 umpires are a little bit closer to action than the 2 umpires. That's
Yes.
no criticism of the 2 umpires, but they're a little bit closer to action. They pick those little ones up like
What have
that.
you thought of the timekeeper's job, Freddie?
Timekeeper's been absolutely superb. But I don't know how he's going to go when he finds out if the Southern Saints run the netball. He might lose concentration.
No, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
Righto, we've got, who's that
Ball
turning
makes
over
its
there?
way into the forward 50 for RSMU. Good contested ball, but there's been a holding free in the marking contest. It's going to go to the big fella in Joe Hines. Hines for BSR. He played a little bit of time in the forward line earlier on today, but spent most of his time down back on Michael Aney. It's been a good matchup for BSR. He won the free kick for a marking contest infringement there, Hines, and he finally gets the ball back and he'll have a look at the options as to see what's available. He's in the 50-metre arc of the RSMU forward line. He chips out looking for and finding the player there in Matt Longbottom, winner of the 2021 male medal by 13 votes, a massive margin. Kicks the ball down the line. Nice kick, nice pass, nice lead, nice grab. I reckon that's Slade over the far side. Fair way away when the light's getting a bit darker, Freddie, for our old eyes, but it is over on the half-forward line now for BSR. Nice work by the player there in Martin. Nice little handball to Harsman, but Harsman wasn't ready for it. It's on the 50-metre arc for BSR now, and the umpire says there's no way of getting rid of that. I'll come in and throw the ball skyward again.
Not much time left in this third quarter, the old premiership quarter, and perhaps BSR Tigers have done enough, have they? We'll know in about 35, 40 minutes' time. Up it goes, big Shahinga against Wilson. Shahinga got it down. Oh, a little bloke got taken high there. No, play on, said the umpire. No, in fact, the umpire said he did. And that player back there picking himself up for the RSMU Hawks is, might be, it's not Lease. Anyway, comes wide, sorry about that. Looking for the captain in Rhodey. Rhodey in turn quickly gets it on towards Henry Ball. He's got hold of the footy, the old 1-2 to Rhodey. Rhodey now comes down the wing to old Nude Nut himself, Mr. Jordan. There he is, got it right on the boundary line in front of that magnificent complex here at the Eudunda Oval. He goes long, good looking mark. That's a great mark to Clark. He's come into it, and Mally's time has gone off, and he's pressed the button right in front of us, and that's three-quarter time here at the Eudunda Oval. 10-9-69, the Tigers holding sway in the grand final. Can they be premiers in 2021? The Hawks are 4-1-25. That quarter went for 26 minutes and 40 seconds. I'll run through goal kickers shortly, but I think we've got our correspondent. Yes, she's back. Oh, no, it's he. He's back. What do you got for us, old son?
That if Eudunda Robertstown got up in the A1s, he was buying us all beers at three-quarter time. So, Mally, down you go. It was a great victory for the Eudunda Robertstown A1 netball team. The RSMU Lady Hawks hadn't lost a game all year, but when you get to the big dance, you have to perform, and it just didn't happen today. So, Eudunda Robertstown 43 to RSMU 31. And in the corresponding game on the next court in the B2s, there was a Wyndham Min who came from behind to beat the RSMU Hawks 37 to 35. So
of course, Jess Geister not only winning her 7th individual Best Player of the Year award for North Eastern Netball Association, she's also won a premiership.
Also a premiership
Pretty
winner.
good year.
Yeah, no, she's a gun player. Just been one of the best, as we've mentioned.
Who was best on court?
Yeah, not quite sure. I'll wait.
sure.
Just waiting for my correspondent.
Here's our correspondent.
What sort of correspondent?
He said, I want to rush and get on the radio. Somebody will say, hang on, here's a pigeon coming. He might have to. No, he hasn't got the note. He's gone straight past, so we'll get that.
Well, what I really wanted to ask Freddie was, what do you think of the boundary umpiring display today? Because you went to school with one of those boundary umpires out there.
I went to school. It's Stephen Ball.
That is Stephen Ball walking towards us there. Just
what, with that white hat on?
No, just in a jog between.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Guys, I'm not sure whether anyone else listening on ABC North and West finds that conversation very interesting, but I'm going to tell you that Matt Greenslade, thank you very much for catching up with us with the netball scores. Congratulations to the Southern Saints. The time is now 8 minutes past 4 on your Saturday afternoon. We're giving you as many score updates as we possibly can. I can tell you here at the BSR versus RSMU Grand Final in Northeastern Football League, it's BSR leading 10 goals, 969, a 44-point margin currently at three-quarter time. They lead RSMU 4 goals, 125 at the beautiful Eudunda Oval. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage. Hopefully you're enjoying the commentary. And Freddie Freeman, he's been a good mate of mine for a long time. He's doing a very good job, and thank you very much for joining us. Matt Greenslade came in and gave us the netball scores. RSMU were defeated by the Southern Saints. The Southern Saints won the A-grade netball. York Peninsula Netball Association, we've got an update from the A-grade netball. I imagine that's the end of the end of the game, or is it
half time?
It's only half time. 26-19 is the half-time score. Gee, they play late.
They do.
They do play late. So the A-grade netball score in the York Peninsula Netball Association, CY Cougars 26, lead the CMS Crows 19. That's a half-time score.
And that's my wife sending that through, so I'm not going to doubt it one little bit.
Well, I actually got it sent through from Fiona Buzzingshot, so...
And she's time.
Yeah, well, that's right. No, very good. The three-quarter time score here, 44 points the lead for BSR at the Eudunda Oval. This is ABC North and West, and as mentioned, hopefully enjoying the coverage as the COVID marshals are making sure that everyone's off the oval and everything's clear. The score in three-quarter time at York Peninsula Football, CMS Crows, 8 goals 1. They trail Moonta 9 goals 7. Currently a 2-goal margin in favour of Moonta. There's a 44-point margin in favour of BSR here in the Northeastern Footy League. The ball goes up, the ball goes down, starting the final term here, and the ball hasn't gone very far at all. There's plenty of tapping on the ground, there's plenty of tackles, plenty of players falling on the ground, and Matt Longbottom and Milne for the opposing teams get up and hand the ball to the umpire for another ball up. Wilston versus Shahinga. It's been a great battle all day. Gets the ball down towards the half-forward line for BSR. Slade gets the ball. He puts it on the slipper. Ends up in the trail of Weckett, who has a go at goal and has missed everything. Mate, he's almost kicked it. He wouldn't have hit 3 sets of goalposts out that far. It's out of bounds in the full, and there'll be a resulting free kick to the player in Henry Ball for RSMU.
The big thing with Patrick Beckett, he's only 16 or 17, so you get plenty of opportunity to kick one correctly, not out the full. Here's Henry Ball, one of a twin, gets it. His twin brothers play today. Young Slee tried to dodge and weave. Now handball was over to Jordan. Jordan just kicks blindly around the body, really. Comes over towards a little fella in Sam Milne. Oh, he got taken a bit high. He's got that headgear on, but it didn't worry him. The umpire said, no, it wasn't too high. There's a little bit of how do you do, but it doesn't matter for the BSR boys because they're pretty happy they're well in front.
Special mention to umpires Roberts, Dixon and Bazusto. Done a good job. Shahinga, we've been calling his name all day because he's been tapping the ball all day. Done a great work in the ruck, taps it down towards his coach in Krause. Krause goes to put it on his left boot, but it's spoiled and it'll go out of bounds. 65 metres around from the right-hand side point post of BSR. Shahinga again gets the tap, this time to Connell. Connell's tackled straight away, the ball's forced out. Molyneux gets the ball to Slee. Slee does a shimmy and shake, handballs to Lease. Lease whacks it on the left, going down towards the half-forward line for RSMU. Both players down there were holding on to each other, so the umpire let it go. Ends up in the hands there of Sam Ball. He has a ping on goal, but he's hooked it slightly, and it's gone out of bounds 3 metres around from the left-hand side point post.
Righto, this is it. The next 10 minutes tells the story, doesn't it? Can the Hawks get a couple of quick goals to put pressure back on the Tigers? At this stage, you would say the Tigers are looking okay for the flag. Up they go again. Clark's in there for the Hawks. BSR get hold of the footy. Quick kick out. There's 3 players there. That was Rhodey, took it, gave it to Slee. Slee fires on the goal from 15 metres out. It's a ripper. That was a magnificent kick by Harrison Slee, and he's got the goal, and we just said they need one quick, didn't we? And Harrison Slee produced the goods for his first goal for the afternoon, and for the 5th one for the Hawks. 10-9-69, plays 5-1-31. 2.5 minutes into this quarter, last quarter.
Wind didn't have an effect on that kick. That was a beautiful looking kick, Freddie. Sorry, I was standing on your court there, mate. Sorry, I was wondering what you were pulling at there. The ball makes its way back to the centre. Great work by RSMU. Great work by Slee. Great individual performance to get that goal from long distance. Shahinga, talking about individual performances, have been absolutely brilliant. Taps the ball down towards Connell, and Connell gets one high and take the resulting free kick. He knows he can't take too long because they trail by 38 points. Ball goes down towards Molyneux, who gets the ball, kicks down towards the goal square. Good defensive work by Joe Finch, the BSR, taps the ball out of bounds, and we'll have another throw in from the boundary umpire, 10 metres around from the right-hand side point post. ABC North and West here at the Eudunda Oval. 38 points the margin in favour of BSR. Start of the final term. Ball goes in from the boundary throw-in. Clark gets the ball, but he's tackled by two players, including Matt Longbottom, and the umpire comes in to throw the ball skyward again.
Up she goes again. Big Shahinga's down there, gets yet another hit out. It'll be interesting to know what his tally was. Krause took the footy, got swung around, just got boot to ball, goes towards that deep pocket down there on the outer side, and I think the umpire says, yep, she's out of bounds. And once again, the umpire's doing a sterling job. Central and boundary up there, there's no doubt about it. Dressed in green, resplendent in green. Throws it in, Big Shahinga gets it down again. Don't know who kicked that one, but it's a good-looking high kick, and it's 1 point out of the scrap down there. Couldn't see who quite got it, but it's one behind to the Hawks. 5-2-32 they move along to. The Tigers 10-9-69.
I think it was Milne. But I'm not sure.
Little fella had 70-odd league games at Central District, of course, little Sammy Milne. But anyway, we'll see what happens from now on. He's got to get into the game and kick a couple of goals.
Ben Cousins kicks out from fullback for BSR. Goes down the far side, over on the far side near the windsock. Fortuitously lands in the hands of Jack Harsma, who handballs the ball to Patrick Weckett. But Patrick Weckett's too close to the boundary line, and we'll have another ball in. Windsock's telling us that it's going RSMU's way, the wind, but it's not very strong. It's not as strong as what it has been throughout the day. Ball ends up in the hands of Matt Longbottom. He kicks it on his left. Ends up on the chest of Sam Cousins. Sam Cousins plays on straight away from the centre. Got plenty of space out here for Cooper Hayes. Cooper Hayes has plenty of space also. Goes down towards the half-forward line. Great judgment by Jordan for RSMU to take an intercept mark. Handballs on straight away to Lease. Plays onto the half-forward line, Lease. Gets it down towards Michael Laney. He's been pretty quiet for the game after the first half. Ends up in the forward line. Gee, good work there by... a bit of gymnastics work there by Ball, but it hasn't paid off. Good clearing ball there by Longbottom again. Ends up in the hands of Stewie Longmire. Stewie Longmire, half-back for BSR, goes down the line looking for Patrick Weckett. Good contested ball. He was up against three RSMU players. Brings the ball to ground, and the player in Slade grabs the ball. Connell grabs Slade, and the umpire will come in to throw the ball up again.
Up they go. Big higher for the Hawks is going up. Got a little tap. Comes towards Longbottom, of course. Who else? Gets a quick kick on his left boot on this occasion. Comes to Turney. Turney handballed over to Connell. Connell in turn to the little bloke in Molyneux. Couldn't get it. It's a bit of ping-pong, and the umpire will say a high tackle on the player there for the BSR boys.
Morgan.
That's Morgan. Thank you very much. Had a pretty good game. Kicked 3 goals. Done well in the midfield too a lot of the time. Goes out wide.
Cooper Hayes gets the ball down into the forward 50. Sorry, Freddie. Ends up in the hands off the crumbs by Jack Harsma. He has a ping on goal, but it's a bit of a hook and it's going to go through for a minor score.
Cooper Hayes, you know, they know him as Sprinkler.
Is that right?
Yeah, you never know where he's going to bob up.
Well, I've heard that they call him Sprinkler because of the way he dances. Anyway, the ball gets cleared out by Slee from fullback for RSMU. Goes straight down the centre, and it ends up good defensive mark by Cameron Longbottom. Liked his game around half-back line. Good mark, looks at his options down forward, goes down towards the half-forward line looking for the smallest player on the ground in Jack Harsma. Harsma, good chest mark, good lead, good ball inboard, looking for Andy Cousins. Andy Cousins, too far out to score. He knows there's no hurry, so he'll just take his time. They lead by a good margin, that margin being 38 points, so he pounds the ball in deep, looking for Ashby, and Ashby was out marked by Lease. Lease, the taller of the player. And a good mark by Lease. In fact, it wasn't paid a mark, it was paid a marking infringement. Lease plays on with his left.
Has a pretty good second half too, young Lease. Good long-ranging kick. Came towards the player in Samball. Got it over the top. Got it back again. No, the umpire said you threw it.
Great tackle.
Samball, it was. That player there was Brad Costa. Got caught with a footy. Cooper Hayes once again. He has bobbed up, hasn't he? All over the place. And he goes out wide and finds that player in Morgan. He's had a great game, hasn't he? And he comes. Oh, they didn't man the mark, so he was able to switch in. Goes in beautifully there to Daniel Hayes. Got the quick one over to that player again. That was Cameron Longbottom this time. Connell for the RSMU Hawks. Couldn't mark in defence. Rushed in towards the 50-metre line now. Oh, good defensive play by Rhodey again. Goes out wide looking for Michael Annie out here. Can he 4 on 1 or 3 on 2? And he got a push. And the umpire said, yep.
Stewie Longmire just pushed the player absolutely as blatant as you could say, and he looked at the umpire when he gave the freeways and said, "What did I do?"
That happens, doesn't it? Wasn't me umpire.
I think there was 3,000 umpires here that would have given that free kick. Anyway, the ball's made its way out, and good defensive work by Joe Hines. Sorry to cut you off there, Freddie.
All good. Joe Hines just took a good defensive mark as RSMU Hawks are putting it to the hot spot. He'll go out wide, deep down in that pocket. And they'll take another relieving mark. Like you said, the Tigers don't need to do anything drastic. They've got the game in their keeping. They just need a bit of possession. Goes up short again, about 20 metres around there. Who's that down there? Gee whiz, a bit hard to pick up now this time of the day.
That was Harsman and Martin.
Yep, back to Joey Hodges. They're just playing a bit of keepings off now. He's back within that 25-metre line by the point post. He's waving to the player to get out of the road and get over deep, and he's done that. That was Ben Cousins. Couldn't get hold of the footy, though. Buttering up, though, is Ben Cousins again in opposition to Cooper Bain. Bain got it around the body. Good-looking kick. But back there is Hines for defence and taps it over the goal line, and it's one behind. 5-3-33, the Hawks. The BSR Tigers, though, holding sway 10-10-70.
37 points the margin here on your local ABC North and West. Hopefully enjoying the coverage here live from the Eudunda Oval. Northeastern Football League Grand Final. BSR 37 points for the better good at the moment. Ball's down towards the far side wing. Wilson drops chest mark. Series of handballs ends up with Krause. Bit of a 1-2. Krause kicks down towards the half forward line. 50-metre arc down there for RSMU. Milne stayed down while other players flew, but it's going to come out. Nice piece of work there by Joe Hines defensively for BSR. He handballs to a player and put that player under pressure. I'm not sure who that player was. I think it might have been, I'm going to say it was Nathan Hayes, but I don't think that's right. But anyway, he put the player under pressure. That player was caught holding the ball. And a shot on goal for RSMU.
Guess who's got it? The big fella put him down. Shahinga fires on that northern goal, goes right to the goal square.
Great
good mark up there. Hire was in there, but it wasn't him. They're just pushing and shoving while we see who took the mark. I don't know why he worried about pushing and shoving. Why don't he just turn around as big Patrick Clark again, and he'll kick it from the goal square directly in front. I reckon we can put this one down in the book. We better not. We might put the mockers on him. He might shank it. No, it comes in casually and kicks a goal. His third for the afternoon, Pat Clark, and that gets RSMU to another one. That's their 6. But the BSR Tigers 10-10-70. Lead the RSMU Hawks 6-3-39. We've played 11 minutes. ABC local radio, North and West. You're listening to the Northeastern Grand Final.
Freddie, RSMU throwing their weight around down in the goal square. Maybe they should have done that in the first half, but that's another story. Ball makes its way back to the centre. Eventually, it will make its way back to the centre. I'm not sure where the ball actually is. The umpires are looking around to see where the boundary umpire's gone.
Got caught on a houseboat at Morgan, I think. It went that far.
It's now made its way back to the centre. We will reiterate the fact the umpires, the boundary umpires, the goal umpires, the timekeeper have all done very good jobs here at the Eudunda Oval. ABC North and West. The ball makes its way back to the centre and goes skyward. Weckett versus Shahinga. No real clear advantages at all there, but it's a good piece of contested ball there by Connell. Connell gets the ball to Rhodey. Rhodey had nowhere to go, so he just kicked it. He put it on the slipper and it's gone out towards Connell again. Connell handballs to Molyneux, but it's good defensive work by BSR. Molyneux eventually gets it. Handballs, once again, doesn't really hit the target and gives an opportunity for the ball to be picked up by 2 or 3 players, including Simon Goss. And the umpire will say, no one's going to get rid of that. Let's throw it skyward again. Half forward line for BSR.
Isn't it great to see them putting young Patrick Weckett in the ruck now?
Absolutely brilliant. And you're going to learn a fair bit against Shahinga, you would think. Ball ends up with Milne. Milne swings around his body, goes down towards the half forward line for RSMU. Ben Cousins leads in the chase of the ball, but there's plenty of company there. He grabs the ball, he falls to the ground and people fall on him, and we'll have another ball up. ABC North and West, 31 points the margin in favour of the BSR Tigers. 10 goals, 10-70. Lead RSMU, 6 goals, 3-39. Ball goes up, ball goes down, and Milne again gets the ball. Once again, he's swung in the tackle. The ball doesn't go to any real clearance. Harsma gets the handball out, goes to Andy Cousins. Andy Cousins stumbles when he kicks, but he ends up fortuitously out towards the far side wing. Molyneux for RSMU leads in the chase of the ball. But unfortunately, the boundary line has beaten him and all contenders, and we'll have another ball in.
It's
far side wing.
It's won pretty often, hasn't it, the boundary line today? It
has.
No doubt about it. It's the winner. Anyway, as we said, dressed in green, the boundary umpire. Shahinga once again got the big thump. Gee, he hasn't stopped trying, has he, all afternoon? And I tell you what, it could be a bit of a tricky one for the umpires to pick best player on the ground, because that very rarely comes from the losing side, but
Shahinga's been brilliant.
Where we stand, it could well go to a losing player, which is not that good, I suppose, because he won't feel that good about that. Anyway, he's going to contest once again with a big fella in Simon Goss in the ruck. Shahinga yet again gets another tap. Comes down towards the player there in, I think it was Cameron Longbottom in there, actually. He gives the ball back to the umpire. Yep. Up she goes once again. Shahinga. Working around the contest is the coach for RSMU Hawks, Krause. Can't get hold of the footy. It goes out. The umpire says it was a kicking in danger. And Connell will get the resultant free kick. He's right on that centre wing. Got the headband on. Got the big long hair. Goes in towards his coach in Krause. He wants to play on quick. Got tackled. Got over to Molyneux. Can't get rid of the footy in time. Yes, he can. Once again, the BSR defenders are defending really well, and eventually it ends up with the little fella in Haasmas had a good day. He's flattened after acceptances, and he'll be down the field.
He stayed down too.
He has. Let's hope he hasn't hit his head on the turf. That's what's happened, I think. And he's a bit groggy.
He's just making his way to his hands and knees now. He is getting up.
As Weckett gets it, goes in deep looking for Moller. But that player in Jordan's been resolute in defence, didn't really know what to do with it. Got it out quickly, came towards Henry Ball. He goes wide towards the scoreboard pocket and it's out on the full. And the free kick will come to Alex Morgan. How's he going? Is it going to have to come off, I think?
Doesn't look good at all. He's running towards the bench and he's running in a completely different direction to where he should be. Hang on, he's just been given the directions.
I reckon he's done enough, though, as the ball comes into that pocket. Working hard was Matt Longbottom once again. The umpire says it's a free kick and it might even be going to BSR, is it? Yes, it is, and it'll be Matt Longbottom who got one a bit high. As the faithful for the Tigers give Jack Harsma a big clap as he comes off. Took a heavy knock, could be the concussion rule.
I reckon he
won't have to,
by the way.
He won't have to worry about the 12 days, though. No. He's got a lot longer than 12 days to recover. Here he is, the Marlon medal winner.
He'll probably have more of a headache from something else later on.
But anyway. He comes, firing on that southern goal. Good-looking kick. The wind will take it. Up they go. Big Shahinga's there to defensively punch it over for the Hawks. And that'll be another minor score to the Tigers there, 10-11-71. The Hawks are 6-3-39.
ABC North and West, hopefully enjoying the coverage. Joined here with Freddie Freeman and a wind update. It's been fairly windy all day, but the windsock across the other side of the ground looks more like a soggy schnitzel at the moment. It doesn't look too full on at the moment at all. So the wind has died down. Temperatures died down a little bit as well. I'm not sure what the temperature is, but it is getting a bit chillier here, Freddie, as the ball's finally made its way back to the fullback's hands so he can kick in after that minor score.
Slee back there again.
32 points the margin in favour of BSR. Deep into this final term of the Northeastern Football League's grand final. Ball comes out towards Lease. Lease taps it down. Nice piece of work of roving by Ben. Nice work to follow up with the handball and did a 1-2, but he kicks it down towards the half-forward line, Ben, and it's good defensive mark. He's done a good job on that half-back line, Cameron Longbottom, and he plays on and kicks over, and I've put the mockers on him, and he kicks it straight to the opposition in Rhodey. Rhodey liked his game as well for RSMU on the half-back line. Goes down towards the half-forward line, looking for Zach Hire, who was in the marking contest. The ball was hit the ground. He jumped on the ball, and once again, 5,422 times the ball goes skyward from the umpire. Umpire's job's been very good today. All three of them been excellent. Milne, good roving off the pack. He's been tackled. He's been penalised for holding the ball, Milne. Don't know whether he really had prior opportunity, but the umpire's given it the free kick, and it will go to that player in Longbottom, as in Cam variety. He kicks over to the far side, looking for and finding Morgan over there. Liked his game too, Freddie.
Excellent.
Goes in towards the centre looking for Wilsden, the ruckman. He picks up from his shoelaces, gets the handball to Andy Cousins. Andy Cousins goes down to a vacant forward line. Sam Cousins has the opportunity to run into open goal. He takes a bounce, he takes 2 bounces, gets to the goal square and kicks the ball through. That's another one to Sam Cousins. Open goal in the end. RSMU had all their players positioned for a quick attack to try and get some scoreboard pressure down the other end, open up the forward line for BSR, and Sam Cousins good enough to run onto that ball and run into that space and run into an open goal.
That's his 3rd goal for the afternoon too.
11-11-77 BSR lead RSMU 6 goals 3-39 on ABC North and West. Joining me here, Chook Haslett, is Freddie Freeman, and the ball makes its way up, ends up in the hands of Slee. Slee for RSMU handballs the ball, but it didn't really advantage the player that he handballed it to, that player being Milne, because he was tackled straight away, and the umpire throws the ball skyward again.
Righto, up she goes again. Big Shahanga gets it. Rushing through there was a player in Clark, I think, for RSMU. Here's Lease, has a pretty good second half, Lease, although they're well behind now. Slee's got it, Harrison Slee's well tackled in there by the player in Morgan, and it'll be another ball up. And we've got the first grand final premiers. Central Whaler 14-7 have defeated Waruna Bay 9-7 for their 2nd flag in a row. Here's Krause, he got it as it came down from the tap in. Got it, but the player back there was Daniel Hayes. Got a quick handball to Hinges. Hinges forced onto the left boot, and he's gone high, wide and handsome, and it'll go out of bounds. Will it on the full? No, not out on the full. And we see the score, BSR 11-11-77, lead the RSMU Hawks 6-3-39, and looks like it's a kick down there to the Hawks, Chookie.
Yep, 38 points the margin. RSMU, there's 6 or 7 minutes left in this game, and RSMU want to put some dignity in that scoreboard, that is for sure. The ball's deep into the forward lines. Good defensive work by BSR, but the umpire said, I blew the whistle before you had a chance to clear it, so we'll throw this ball up in the air again for the ruck contest. 25 metres out from the RSMU goal. Once again, there's plenty of players there, so there's no real clearance available. And once again, we'll have another ball up.
We've just got a quick netball update from the York Valley, York Peninsula, I should say. At 3/4 time, the CMS Crows 35, a goal up on the Cougars 34.
Ooh, close one. Ball goes up, ball goes down, ball gets in someone's lap and everyone tackles him, and we'll have another ball up deep in the forward line for RSMU again. Clark will go up in the ruck work, go up against Wilson. No, it was high that actually went up in the ruck work in the end. Nice work to tap it out towards the boundary line. Levi Krause's the first one there. He's the runner-up of the male medal, one of the runner-ups, Levi Krause, so had a very good year. Forced out of bounds, and we'll have another ball in. Ball goes down. Once again, RSMU has an opportunity now to have a shot on goal. Zach Hire, I think that was, and it's been hooked around for a minor score. That takes the score to 6 goals 4-40. 37 points lead to BSR, who is 11 goals 11-77 as the ball gets kicked in from fullback to Ben Cousins. Not sure what
come off the chest,
what
Judy.
happened there, but it was a rubber chest from the player that he kicked it to, and it's been forced out of bounds. I think that player might have been Andrew Cousins, but I'll see when he turns around. It's a bit hard to see his number at this stage. Matt Longbottom slams on his left boot. It's on the half-forward line still for RSMU. There's only a few minutes left, so they want to get some dignity into that scoreboard, as we've mentioned. They trail by 37 points. Ball now on the half-forward line for BSR. Simon Goss led in the chase of the ball, but the boundary line once again won that battle, and we'll have another ball in.
Ball in now. Boundary umpire out there, throws it in. Big fellas fly. Got it down, came towards... Oh, he's been held on to, I reckon. That was a player, was Morgan, and he was. The umpire agreed with me, and he's a lot closer than me. Alex Morgan. Could be a best-on-ground candidate as well. Looking around. Options, he's in no hurry. It wasn't Morgan, in fact it was Josh Slade on this occasion.
He's played well too.
He has, so they look a little bit alike. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, he's got out wide, comes back again, so they're just wasting a bit of time now, which is well and truly due, because not that much longer to go. Back in, here's Matty Longbottom this time on the outer side. Male medal winner, as we said, and he'll put another medal around his neck in about 4.5 minutes' time. Goes in towards that pocket. Playing back there well was a little fella in Molyneux. Got it away to the player in Rhodey. Rhodey hasn't stopped trying either down back for the Hawks. He comes out towards our commentary position.
Oh, good grab.
Well done. That's
Ben Cousins.
Benny Cousins. He goes in short, just taking up a bit of time. And a good little kick there to Cameron Longbottom. As you said, he's been pretty good. Unique kicking style. He wastes a bit of time and comes to Cooper Hayes. Another one of the Frank Hayes production line. Goes long. It's just going to make the 50-metre line.
Hey!
Oh, good-looking mark by Jack Turney. And he's got one on the chest in the end. He flew up high over the pack and took it on the chest. Turney now gets handball to Rhodey again. Rhodey will go wide.
Good kick.
Switching a play. Good-looking kick, isn't it? Over the player in Patrick Brown. Rooster, they call him. Rooster will have to have a commiseration beer tonight because they're not going to get the chocolates. He comes into the big fella in Shahinga. Shahinga gets it. He's going to switch it into the centre of the ground looking for young Connell. Takes it on. Oh, no, he didn't take it on the chest. Luckily, though, the player in Sam Ball was there. His teammate got it over. Now it comes towards the player in Milne. Milne in turn down towards the forward pocket. Hine just worked well back there. Now it came to Morgan. But they said, a big Joey Hine just you threw the footy and the resultant free kick will go to the Hawk player down there and he'll kick from about 45 metres out from goal.
45-degree angle as well, Freddie. Has a shot on goal. Don't think it's going to make the distance. It's going to fall in the square. Good contested ball. There's the ball still in the square, a couple of metres out from the goal line. Plenty of players there, and it's been forced over the line for a minor score.
37 points the difference, Sean.
36 now, Freddie.
All right. Be like that.
It's in the hands of the fullback. Ben Cousins liked his game. Going to go long once again. They know that they've got time on their side as well. There's not much time left and they lead by 36 points. Good contested ball over there. Players are taking their time getting up from the congestion. One of those players that went down heavily was Sam Wilson, picked himself up and now will go into ruck contest on the half-forward line. Ball goes up, ball goes down. Shahinga again gets a tap. Once again, no real advantage because it hit the ground and plenty of players are there to be on top of it. Instead of being on top of it, it's been forced out of bounds on the half-forward line for RSMU, and we'll have another ball in. I know we've said it before, and I'll say it again, the umpires, boundary umpires and field umpires and gold umpires done a great job today. Always a lot of pressure in a grand final, and good mark there. Deep in the forward line for RSMU and have another shot on goal. Don't like the angle. Michael Laney's the player. Been a little bit quiet, did all right sort of hovering around that half-time mark, but been pretty quiet down there. BSR defenders have done a pretty good job. I tell you what, that's a nice looking kick. It's only just missed to the far side. And a minor score for Michael Laney, minor score for RSMU. Ben Cousins, fullback, will kick it in for BSR once again. Doesn't worry about the time too much because he knows that he's got time on his side. Little chip ball, looking for Longbottom. Longbottom plays on to his brother, Matthew. Matthew Longbottom goes down towards the centre looking for Goss. Good contested ball by Goss. Ends up getting to Harsma. He came back on, so he obviously wasn't concussed. Harsma taps the ball. Series of a couple of taps off the ground. Ends up in the hands of Longbottom, as in Cameron. He's tackled. Krause gets the ball. Handballs the ball forward, but it's going to be coming back. Nice piece of work defending by Ben Cousins. Nice handball. Now a kick out toward Longmire, as in Stewie. Stewie Longmire on the half-back line for BSR. Looks down the line and just going to kick the ball long. Looking for Ashby. Nice work by Jordan for RSMU. RSMU have got the numbers there. Slee picks up from shoelaces. Does a bit of a shimmy and a shake and a twist and a turn. Handball to Lease. Lease with that long left boot goes down forward.
And he's got his player in front, but good work again by Cooper Hayes. He's had a good last quarter, hasn't he? To Joey Hine, just wobbly old kick and he'll be out of bounds right in front of the magnificent complex here. But it's only consolation now as Lease will get it. The Jamestown boy, of course, son of David and Rocky, goes long with that left foot. We've played 27 minutes, but it's nearly all over. Working at the bottom of the pack is Sam Ball, couldn't get it. The defence has been fantastic for BSR all day, hasn't it? As they come out again towards the 50-metre arc. Here's a little fella in Milne, but there you go. Beset upon, the second he got hold of the foot, he was beset upon by big Joey Hines, and he's got the free kick for holding the ball, and he will waste time. And I'll give the tip, if he turns around 3 more times, he goes back deep and goes down toward Cousins in the back pocket, and I reckon he might be the man with the ball in hands when the siren goes, but we'll see what happens. There you
Oh, no kidding.
Well done, Mally. But well done, the Tigers. There it is, BSR. 4 out of 5 premierships. Fantastic real effort by them. And let's have a look at the final score. BSR 11-11-77. Defeated the RSMU Hawks 66 goals 6-42. And, well, the Hawks lament and the Tigers joy, isn't it? No doubt about it. They've had a good year and they've finished off with the premiership. Well done to the BSR Tigers.
35 points, the margin in favour of BSR. Great quality contest here at the Eudunda Oval. This is ABC North and West, and hopefully you've enjoyed the coverage throughout the day. We'll try and give you as many score updates as we possibly can, but as you heard from Freddie a little bit earlier, Central Whaler is one team that will be celebrating a premiership along with BSR. BSR here at Eudunda, 35 points the margin, and their dominance in the North Eastern Footy League continues. Been a good quality day, been a good quality game, and been some good results along the way. Min-Man, of course, under 14s winning the game in the under 14s by a total of 51 points. Min-Man also the under 17 winners by a 5-point margin. The B grade, the game between Southern Saints and BBH, the Southern Saints had a win by 9 points. And of course, this game, 35-point margin in favour of BSR. What we're going to do now is we're going to head back to the studio with Georgia Roberts, and we'll have a very, 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 very quick break. And after the break, we'll talk about best players and who we think might be awarded the Man of the Match award. But a great day here at Eudunda. A great situation of BSR winning another premiership in the A grade, and a great contest. This is ABC North and West, and the time is 20 minutes to 5. Grand finals being played, being run and won, and we'll try and keep you up to date with as many of the scores as we possibly can. We'll pass over to Freddie Freeman, who's a good mate of mine. He's also done a very good job for us here on ABC North and West, and we'll get as many scores. And there's an absolute cliffhanger by the sounds of it. It's just happened in the York Peninsula, which we'll talk about very shortly. But before we do, the under-14s, as mentioned, 10 goals, 6-66 Min-Man, defeated South Clare, 2 goals, 3-15, 51-point margin in favour of Min-Man. Min-Man in the under-17s defeated North Clare, 7-6-48 to 6-7-43. So 2 wins in a row there in the junior grades to Min-Man. In the B grade, Southern Saints, the home team here at Eudunda, Southern Saints defeated BBH in a marvellous game of reserves footy. 8 goals, 9-57, a 9-point win. BBH, 7 goals, 6-48. And in the game we've just commentated, the game we've just witnessed and the game we've just loved, BSR continue on their winning ways. They love winning premierships in North Eastern Footy League, and they've done it again, BSR. 11 goals, 11-77, have defeated RSMU, 6 goals, 6-42. The game looked very much one-sided at 7 goals, 7 to zip there at one stage, but RSMU did play better in the second half, that is for sure, and the skill, the ability, and maybe having fresh legs for BSR was probably the winning factor. Plenty of great players, and we'll get to better players shortly, and we'll also announce the man of the match, which has been judged by the umpires in a panel. We'll give you that very shortly. But Freddie, you've got some scores from around the grounds. Before you do that, the netball score here, Eudunda Robertstown defeated RSMU in the A-grade netball. So the Southern Saints had a win in the A-grade netball here in North Eastern.
And RSMU haven't won a A-grade netball for 42 years. So there you go. They haven't yet. It'll be 43.
Freddie, you do a lot of great stats. Where did you get that stat from?
The man told us it came soon.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't. Yeah, I must have been listening.
Concentrate, young fellow.
Sorry.
Concentrate.
The umpires have just
got their medals.
The umpires have just got their medals here, and they did a good job, I thought, Freddie.
Yeah, they certainly did, and it's good to see them acknowledged, isn't it? York Peninsula Football League Grand Final went down to the wire in both the netball and the football. The CMS Crows, 13 goals 2. Get that from great kicking. 80 have defeated Muta by 1 point. 11-13-79. As we see the best on ground awarded here. We'll get to that in just a moment, and I did have him in my best players, so that's good. In his final game for the Tigers, I've been told, very, very reliable. So just repeating that, York Peninsula Footy League, CMS Crows 13-80 have defeated Moonta 11-13-79.
Last time he cut his hair, it was like
Longbottom. Number 17, Nathan Hayes.
Actually, if you cut in, you won't be fucking through.
Number 20, Luke Hayes. Number 21, Samuel Wilson. Number 23, Alexander Morgan. Number 24, Dean Dudley. Number 26, Josh Blaine. Number 27, Nicholas Lombard. Number 32, Dan Cousins. Number 33, Angus Atkins. Number 37, Stuart Longmire. Ryan Lee Fuller. Coach James Stewart. Number 4, Dan Martin. First of all, just like to thank the North Eastern Football League for the Andrew and Mel and the hard work they've done to continue to contribute on the second team pitching. To say to the Eudunda, great setup here today, fantastic crowd. Thanks very much for our support. Crowding, RSMU, they're having a great season. You guys are great blokes, coming off the field, and I've got a lot of respect for you guys, so well done to you guys. All the people at the Bear Carpet, the Wood Club, week in, week out. Tommy the President, had a lot to do with Wayne Lee, City Director, volunteers, sponsors, trainers, support staff, yeah, thanks very much. To the boys, guys are a pleasure to know, yeah, some very professional outfits. The work hard for this, and I so well done, boys. I'm going to get the track for the ANL Collins Memorial Shield and the championship match donated by Sport Pack.